Edge is, and we all know Edge is trash. We know Edge is trash.
Objection.
And the fact was, and I
I'm about
thought
to
for
fry
a
him.
moment,
Y'all know this.
I thought for a moment you was getting a check from AEW the way you was going so hard. Like I was like, I literally had listen, Zoo.
How many people have Edge's
Oh,
resume?
man.
Just ask you this.
Zoo. I looked at Zoo. He shook his head in agreement with me. Okay, he shook his head in agreement with me because everybody was lost in the sauce. And you know what? I don't want to do gimmick infringement, right? But you fell off the island of relevancy because I just could not understand why you felt that this was the thing. I'm sorry, but continue, my brother. I'm sorry.
Now, if I may interject, so the conversation this man was having originally was with me, and this is a conversation that I have with Brandon often. He, for whatever reason, ranks Edge above Roman Reigns all time, and we could debate that till the cows come home. But I have one question for him that he's never able to answer, and this is where y'all came in. I said, is Edge deserving of 11 world championships?
Absolutely
not.
He is.
No.
He was. Wait, hold on. A top 3 heel
11.
of his generation, arguably the best
11
heel of his generation.
I love the way you use
going back and forth with the top babyface of all time, damn near.
Yeah.
How long is his longest reign?
Why does that matter?
That's because he's the king of being a transitional champ.
Belts every show.
He's the king of being a transitional champ. 11.
He's
He
not
missed
lying,
a decade.
bro.
He missed a decade of wrestling and has 11 championships.
So what? How long?
I'm just saying. You sleep with that.
Over how many years? How long was
his career? Zoo, I see your face.
How long was his career? He's not deserving of 11.
See, the problem is, bro. I agree
John
with your
Cena,
point.
Randy Orton, Edge. Come on, one of these is not like the other.
No, don't do that.
One of these is not like the other.
Hey, hold on, wait.
Steve, the problem with your argument, though, bro.
When Edge,
real quick, Brandon. The problem with your argument, though, Steve, is I agree with you in theory, but when you place it like that, he has 11 championships and he missed 10 years. That kind of almost fights for Brandon's point in a way, because it shows how much faith the company had in him, because you could call a guy a transitional champion, but when you have 11 of those, that means the company did have some faith in you. So it's proven, it's kind of giving some credence to what you're saying, but I do agree with what you're saying.
I think there was a talent
Jinder Mahal was once champion.
Exactly. I was just going to say.
Yep.
Can I just ask
that's the reality. But when you say 11, it gives the accolades a little bit more credence. You know what I mean? Because it shows
I just think it's a ridiculous number of world championships for a wrestler of that caliber.
I just want to ask a question.
That wasn't actually him.
I just want to ask a question. Just one simple question. Just one, and then I promise we'll go on from there. Who the fuck cares about Edge? That's all I want to know.
Yo, clearly nobody.
I care about Edge.
Bro, looking at those AEW videos, man, clearly nobody.
Really going to act like, hold on.
He's not moving the needle.
When Edge became a main eventer, there was 3 top heels in the company. And you could put me personally, I have Triple H as the best heel of all time. That's a whole different discussion.
After Mr. McMahon.
But hold on. There's Triple H, Randy Orton, and Edge. And at that time, arguably, they were all facing each other for top heel in the company. Edge has so much heat that you legitimately did not like him.
Wait, Edge is your number 3 heel of all time?
Mm-hmm. No. I think he's saying that
that era. Okay, yes. That's cool. That's fine. I mean, who else was there? Chris Masters? Like, what the fuck? That's fine.
Hey, come on, man.
That I just gave you.
It was a very weak time in wrestling.
I'm saying there's a talent gap.
Not as bad as the Baron Corbin era, bro.
Well,
right.
When Corbin was the top heel, bro,
Edge would have had 20 world championships then.
Yeah,
think about it. We dealing with post Chris Benoit passing away. The whole
Edge was a main event.
Ruthless aggression, right? Like outside of JBL, Triple H, right? Randy Orton, you needed somebody else to like feud with the baby faces, right? And so Edge he filled the gap and a void that we didn't know we needed. at the time, right? Like Batista needed time to grow into what he became into, right? So like, and it was 2 shows. And I think that was what the real problem was. That's the problem what I had with the splitting of the brands, right? Like the talent pool was not as thick as it was when they first split it. So when they started doing that whole, drafting and switching talent to different shows only, somebody had to step up and fill the gaps in. Edge did that.
I don't have nothing to say about Edge. I said all I had to say.
The rated R superstar.
However, from bell to bell and from pillar to post, it's time to do the turnbuckle talk. Match out, King. What do you have for the turnbuckle talk?
Yes. So this week we're going to discuss Survivor Series War Games. Now, we're going to go down match by match, and when we do that, everybody can give their thought process on the matches and what have you. I'm not going to jump. I'm not going to jump around. I'm going to try to go in the best way possible in the order of how everything was presented. So I know
the War Games thing.
Huh?
When we go play the War Games thing?
We don't have that. We don't have that money.
We're gonna have flag. No, we're gonna
flag. Thing that fast. So we're gonna go back to the regularly scheduled programming, Cam. All right. So, let's go to the first match on the card, which is the women's War Game match: Damage Control, Io Sky, Asuka, and Kairi Sane and Bayley, versus Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Shotzi. Who want to take it first?
Wow, guys, don't all jump at once. All right, I guess I'll hop in here. I'll just be honest with you. It was okay. It was kind of what it was. Going into the match, I was looking at it. I'm going, okay, Shotzi's here. Probably going to eat a pin. Gives Damage Control a little win. We can kind of push that to WrestleMania. I don't know how they're going to drag that out now with, Damage Control all the way to WrestleMania at this point. So they're going to have that match either at, Rumble or Elimination Chamber. And I don't think that's the right move, but whatever. That's a whole different conversation. They ended up going the other way on this one. It was okay. It was just kind of there for me. I'll be completely honest with you. I wasn't very impressed.
Hold on, time out. That's how you really feel?
Yeah, on this one, yeah.
I think this was the best match on the card.
Wow.
Okay.
Honestly.
Why?
Can you expound upon that a little bit?
It had the best spot.
Mm-hmm.
Had the best spot of the night. I don't know.
The garbage can?
No, I don't know. I don't know about that.
I don't know who the fuck thought of that. That was amazing. The woman did really good. Shotzi held her own in a match where she really didn't belong. She was in there with all main eventers. Who the fuck is Shotzi? Well, now we know who the fuck Shotzi is. She made a name for herself. I didn't like that little splash that she did, but overall, she really held her own, and the crowd was behind her. I just felt it was a great start to the show. The crowd was into it because I really thought the crowd was going to be crazy. I thought they were going to be chanting CM Punk from start to finish. I really did. And shout out to the crowd for not doing that, for, not sabotaging the show, not sabotaging Randy's return and everything. But you couldn't have asked for
Chicago is a very mature crowd.
Yeah, you couldn't have asked for a match.
No, this time around they were.
Yeah.
Philly gonna be crazy. But I agree. I don't think the match was bad at all. I thought it was I think maybe the second best match. I think the men's War Games is the spectacle of it kind of takes over for me, but I think it was the second best match on the card. I mean, those ladies were intense from bell to bell. For me, my MVP of that match was Bayley. I thought Bayley really reestablished herself as not only somebody that was taking all the biggest spots, but somebody that was dishing out some pain too. And I really, really want to see her really get a nice singles match by the time Mania come around. And I do think they're going to have a lot to work with the storyline for Damage Control because they're going to turn on her eventually. We're going to get a bunch of good matches of the combination from that fallout.
And let me just say, man, I don't think it was a bad match by any means. I think, like, if you put it on a scale of 1 to 5, this is a 4.25, 4.5 out of every single day. I guess I wanted just a little bit more, but that's just me being a little bit of a perfectionist in a way. So I kind of over the top.
How much more did you possibly want? I mean, I could just think Charlotte moonsault, the EO trash can, Bianca double suplex. I'm just thinking of just.
You're talking about the story. I just didn't think the story was that great.
No, these ladies were killing.
I hear what you're saying. But so my reaction on this is that I think this was actually the second best match of the night as well. To me, the storyline, I didn't agree with the outcome, but now that it happened, I see where they're going with it. Right, like I really feel like they led to it in the press conference, right? That maybe Charlotte and Becky might form a team now, and like really bring some attention and some prestige back to the tag titles, because the women's tag titles is trash right now, right? It's been trash for a minute. So like not everybody's going to be in the world title picture, right? But they are able to establish a groundwork to like see where we're gonna push this moving forward. I do think Bayley's gonna get her own singles match at WrestleMania. And that they definitely gonna turn on her because she like the outcast now. I think also like just like the overall feel of the match, it was top notch. It was almost as good as the NXT Women's War Game match where EO showed out in that as well.
Yeah, D.
The match was decent. It was okay. And first, like for what it was some really high spots. I mean, we did see EO do the trash can thing before. It was pretty dope to see that. It was some good high spots in the match. And for what it was, I mean, look at the match they're in. We got to protect the women, right? We have to protect the talent. We got to see them go into WrestleMania season, the Royal Rumbles. So we have to. They did the best they can. Bayley showed her ass off in that match. All right, she showed her ass off, and I don't know if you noticed, but when what's this guy name? Damn it, the one who just came back, the announcer, whatever, Graves. When he name dropped, like he kind of did the Bayley. She don't get the credit she deserves. She was always less of the three horsewomen. So I seen how they dropped that in there. I always be always trying to hear out for like what they planning to do in the future. It was a good match though. I liked it. They did their thing.
I thought this match was superb. I thought it was like top 3 of the night. I really enjoyed seeing the story. They said a lot of storytelling happened in the men's War Games match, but I think a lot of storytelling happened in the women's match, and I thought that it was an amazing way to kick off the pay-per-view. The moment that they started off with the women's War Games match, I knew that this was going to be, a premium live event that was we would end for a ride, so to speak. I definitely loved the trash can spot too. We did see her do that. I more or less was more double impressed with Bianca Belair with showing that double suplex, because we are now seeing her, get her weight up and get her strength in, So I definitely, for her to still be the EST, I think no one got lost in this match. Like, we got to see Shotzi as a rising star. We got to see Bayley come out as an MVP, as B stated, with her, dishing out and taking at the same time, and also solidifying herself. So I was highly impressed with the match. Definitely a dope match. If I'm gonna rate it too, I think I'm gonna give it a 8 out of a 10.
Okay. I'm gonna agree with everybody that Bayley was the MVP of this match, right? Let me tell you something. I don't see any woman get her ass whooped more than Bayley. You know what I'm saying? Like, she is like this woman gets slammed into the gate.
Company woman.
Like, she is taking one for the team. She
and selling it.
Yes, and selling
do a great job
the
at
hell out of it.
Yeah.
And I want to say that this match, to me, it set the tone for the rest of the night, because the energy level was high, right? From all the spots that was done in there, shouts to all the ladies that did their thing in this match. So, all right, I'm going to move on to the next one. So, all right, this is the Intercontinental Championship, Gunther versus The Miz. I'm going to start off with this one. I thought it was good, but if Miz is going face, from what we see, all the low blows to try to get the win, I'm just sitting here like, make this make sense, Miz. I'm like, make this make sense for me, because I'm just like, I'm trying to understand. You're the good guy here. You're actually the good guy. Gunther's the asshole in the match. Why are you doing the low blows? Help me understand, fellas. This time around, I'm gonna throw it to Cam to start it off. Go ahead.
I mean, he's just being true to himself. That's all that it is. Like, I mean, Miz has never been a great good guy anyway. He's never been the Boy Scout face when he's been a face. He's always been like the asshole we like. You know what I mean? It reminded me of a little Eddie Guerrero-ish kind of thing, right? Like, you don't gotta follow the rules, line by line of what a face supposed to be and what a heel supposed to be. You know what I mean? We've seen faces use dirty tactics before, so it's not a new thing, and it makes it more real because Gunther is way more talented, way more strong than him, and he needed to pull all the tricks he could to try to take that title off of Gunther. That's how I think about it. I wasn't excited about the match when I went in, but after the match was over, I was really pleased about it. So if anything, I'll give it probably like a 3.5. Wasn't the best in the Continental match, but it was a pretty good match.
And my opinion is pretty much gonna mirror Cam's, and I'll just add, the crowd was into it. So if the crowd's into it, I'm into it. All right. Whenever he was doing his little low blows, the crowd was going crazy, and he was kind of creative with it too, like taking off the turnbuckle, getting the ref confused about the turnbuckle before he went and kicked him in the unit. Like it was entertaining, right? It wasn't 5-star classic, but put some respect on the Miz. We all knew he was gonna come out there losing, but he made it believable for the couple seconds that he did. So I thought the match was enjoyable. I give it like a 3.5.
Bro, the crowd really helped a lot of this match along.
Hold on, Zoo. Hold on, Diesel. Go ahead.
The match was good. Miz is gonna do what he's gonna do. That's his character. He's gonna do whatever he can do to win. And like Cam said, it was very Eddie Guerrero-ish. He had to cheat to win. It's Gunther and it's Miz. And to me, it showed Miz had a lot of had some character work in it. You know what I mean? He was showing a lot of character, and I was invested in that. We all know Miz ain't good as a face, but he's going to try to make it believable as much as possible. And the match was enjoyable, to say the least.
Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I gotta agree, man. I didn't think this was gonna be a 5-star match. I mean, we all know the Miz's limitations, especially as a face. I wasn't a fan of the low blows either. I thought they were just over and over again, like you said. It was just way too much, man. But Gunther is Gunther, and he's going to do his thing out there. And as long as you have him in the ring, you're going to be having really good matches. And The Miz has been doing this for so long that he's not going to have a terrible match. So this was never going to be a bad match. But having that crowd tonight definitely helped it out a lot, I think, because there are certain times where a crowd can make a match or help a match a lot. And I think this was one of those chances, one of those times for sure. Because if this is in front of a crowd in Toledo that is sitting on their hands, or they're just not really about it.
Yo, Toledo, get at my guy.
Hey, listen, man. If the people in Toledo are listening, hit me up on the Twitter machine, Zoobeard77, bro, for real. But I think this was good. This was just kind of there. It was definitely not anywhere near the top matches on the card, but it ended up being pretty entertaining, man. And that's all I can ask for Gunther as we keep building him for a WrestleMania, hopefully, big time match with Brock.
Right, random.
First of all, it's The Miz. How else is he gonna win against someone like the ring general Gunther? Is by cheating. So I wasn't surprised that those were the tactics that he decided to use. I thought the match was really good. We talked a little bit about the crowd engagement and how the crowd got excited, but this is the same crowd when Dan Houser pulled out the purple hat, Jack Swagger's old hat, that popped like CM Punk came through the building. So we're gonna talk about Chicago as a crowd boosting something.
Shout out
up.
Chicago.
They definitely did do that, and the match was dope to me. I thought it told a compelling story. We knew that Gunther was gonna go over, and that's what I thought of the match.
Okay, all right, Brandon, take it.
Yeah, just piggybacking off of what everybody else said, the match was okay. It didn't blow my mind or anything like that. I mean, I will say this. It's time for Gunther to get that belt off of him. I understand his importance and what he's done to the belt. I understand that he put meaning, prestige back behind the Intercontinental Championship. Something they didn't do with the United States Championship. But I think it's time
Logan Paul's reign about to be generational.
Yeah, I agree with that. We can talk on that in a minute too. But yeah, Gunther gotta let that belt go. They gotta find somebody else to give it to now. I think he's done what he's had to do with the belt. And like Zoo was saying, I'm all for the Brock Lesnar program. So let's make it happen. Give it to somebody else. There's a lot of people in the mid card right now that could benefit from that Gunther win if they were to beat him. So let's make it happen.
Right. And while you're still talking, I'm gonna let you take the next one, which is Santos Escobar versus Dragon Lee.
All right, Santos, man, I liked it. I love his heel work. I think he's better as a heel. I didn't when the LWO was going on and they were trying to make him this baby face. I wasn't really buying it. I'm like, I know he's incredibly talented in the ring, but I don't know. I just wasn't buying into him as a face. I like seeing certain people be heel. Like if you have enough charisma, you could do the heel thing properly. Like for example, Montez Ford. I've been waiting for him to go heel for years now, and they just need to pull the trigger on that. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what WWE is doing with them right now.
Yeah, that shit on SmackDown was a little confusing.
Yeah, it's like, come on, just pull the trigger, make them heel, do what they got to do. But I like the match. Dragon Lee, Jesus Christ. The fan, he's over. The fans love him. Mm-hmm. He is out of here.
And I don't know why.
No, I know why. I'll tell you why. Listen, Dragon Lee, the reactions that he's getting, this is what WWE wanted Sin Cara to be. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Dragon Lee is out of here, and I love it for him. I could see, some feuds between him and Santos. Maybe they continue to feud. I don't know what they're doing with Carlito. It seems like they don't really have a plan for him.
Carlito don't want to work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to work neither. You gave me that new bullshit theme. Like, yeah, come on. What the hell is that? I don't know what they gave him this fake ass salsa theme. Come on, WWE. Bring his old theme back, man. Bring his old theme back.
Yeah, now bring the old theme back. I'm part of that movie.
Damn. He said it was royalty free.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, take it.
But yeah, man. I like the match, and hopefully we get to see more from those two in the future because, yeah.
Bro, Santos Escobar is going to be an incredible heel. Now, I don't know what that means. He's not going to be like a top 2 heel in the company or in all of wrestling, but the dude is a heel. He is a heel, and he kills it. NXT, that was his game, and he ran that place. He was... I mean, this is a dude who, if they really let him go, which I think Triple H is going to do because he lets everybody do it. You saw it last night. That was a match that it was if you rank them in terms of what everybody's looking forward to going into the card, it is a distant 5th in terms of like just being pumped up for it. For him to get that reaction, a visceral reaction out of that crowd, I mean, you got to give it up for the man. That is who he is. Let him do that, and you're gonna have yourself another massive match at WrestleMania. You're gonna have another massive star coming out of WrestleMania. This is a great thing for Santos Escobar, man. I really am so excited for him. And Dragon Lee, he's at the beginning stages, man, but he's gonna get to where he wants to get to. Dude's talented in the ring. I mean, there's some limitations maybe, but I think he's going to get to where he wants to get to too. And hopefully we could see those two link up at WrestleMania in April. That would be another fun way to get them back together.
Absolutely. Cam, go ahead.
Look, man, the Emperor Lucha Libre, okay? He rules with an iron fist. Don't get it mixed up, man. Don't get it tossed up out here. All right, Santos Escobar is the man, all right? Leader of Legado del Fantasma for a reason. And he's gonna bring that faction back, and we're gonna have 2 new members. You know that's coming. Like his heel work is it's out of this world. It's impressive. It's super impressive. And I understand like maybe that was like his dream working with Rey Mysterio, but you can't turn Rey Mysterio heel. So I understand And when he first, popped up with the LWO, it was a face faction, and this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? But this is exactly like from the moment that they teamed up with LWO, I was like, they're gonna find a way to turn Santos back heel, because the face thing, he just like faded away in the background. Like it really was not working for him at all. But this angle was great, and that match was phenomenal. Like I said, Dragon Lee is he's the next one, right? Like he got the moves, he got the flavor. But at the end of the day, to me, Santos Escobar is going to be the top lucha talent on the roster.
Random.
I hear what you say about him being a top lucha star, Santos Escobar. However, I think that he is just going to be a big star, period. I think he's going to supersede what is a lucha. We're going to forget that he is sort of lucha libre, like how we did with Eddie Guerrero. This match was super, super superb for me. I voted for Santos Escobar, I do believe, to win. I've been riding for him for the longest. My last point I wanted to make is Alberto Del Rio, I don't know if you pay attention to this podcast. If you're tuning in, this is the fuck how you do it. You pay attention to Santos Escobar, and this is how you do it, Alberto Del Rio, and that is my comment.
G, go ahead.
It was a great match. Santos Escobar, he did his thing. He's really, really good as a heel. He did his best heel work in NXT. When he came up to when he got the call up to the main roster, they kind of lost him in the shuffle. So they didn't know what he was doing. They didn't know what they was doing him. They put him in the LWO, too cheesy, nasty, and like forgot. I'm so sorry. One of you guys said they was on trying to find a way to make him heel, and this was the best way to do it. Turn your back on Rey Mysterio, the beloved lucha libre wrestler. Everyone loves him, so that was the best way to get him heel. Last night, that match was a great match. No one lost in that match, even Dragon Lee. It made him look strong, and he's gonna get to where he needs to go. And like you said, like the fans is behind him. I wasn't expecting them to shout his damn name out now. That's crazy. He got the sofito in the sesson.
He got the tajín.
I'm sorry. You.
I was gonna say before we transition, I want to go back to Brandon, right?
Wait.
Everybody didn't go yet.
Can I say my thought, please?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I thought you
hijacked the conversation at the bar. You hijacked my spot again.
Yeah.
This is a long-standing rivalry.
Yeah. So what I wanted to say was a story was told last night. And just from a few weeks ago when he turned heel on Rey Mysterio, that's when I said this guy Santos is going places right there. I love the work when he threw the knuckle back, the knuckle what was that? The knuckle rings, brass knucks back into the ring on the side, all that stuff. I said this guy is telling a story here. And last night, the piggyback of what D said, no one lost. This was something that it showed that they belong there. They belong in the spotlight. The energy level in Chicago was on 1,000 for many reasons, but the fact that the crowd was behind, Dragon Lee the way they were, I was taken back by it. I said, okay. You know what I'm saying? I thought we was on 179 in Amsterdam, the way they was yelling his name. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I was just like, yo, listen, man. I said, yo, listen. Ain't no chancletas in this conversation no more. This is a real
So there's Mexicans in
here.
Amsterdam, 179th in Amsterdam?
There is.
No.
Okay.
Yes, there is.
Okay.
No, it's not.
There is. Okay.
Those are Dominicans.
How's you gonna get your mangoes?
There's more of them. There's more of them. There's more of the Dominican. But
never mind.
He could have chose any other.
Never mind.
He could have chose any other neighborhood. It would have been anyway. Nah, I just want to start by acknowledging Dragon Lee. He's on the right trajectory to where he's gonna have to go to. This man is athletic as hell, talented, and he showed he could brawl too in that match. So shout out to him. I think they got him right where they need him, and he's gonna keep climbing. But last night or over the weekend, for me, that was the Santos Escobar has arrived match. Like, just the way he was able to rile up the crowd. They were saying "fuck you, Santos," right? They didn't do that for anybody else the rest of the night. That was all in ring. He got that reaction all from in ring work, and it was incredible to me. And he's also showed that he's athletic. He was throwing out Hurricane Ranas out of nowhere too. Like I know Zoo, you said he won't be like a 1 or 2 top heel. I think sky's the limit for that guy. Sky's the limit. And I hate to always err on comparing Mexican wrestlers to other Mexican wrestlers, but to what Brandon was saying, this is like the full realization of what Del Rio was showing us back in 2011. And I think I think Santos could even supersede that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think he's on a trail to surpass Del Rio and be like
this will give me like that time when you have like Ultimo Dragon as a US champion versus like a Eddie Guerrero or one of them guys. You understand what I'm saying? So I could see them sometime in the near future fighting for that title, giving us that feel back. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it was definitely giving some feel.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next match.
Hold on, wait. I'm sorry. Before I gotta go back to this. Brandon, what is your beef with Dragon Lee? You said
you not letting it go.
You said you don't understand why.
I ain't got no beef with Dragon Lee. Okay, we done seen Kalisto, we done seen Mystico, we done seen all these masked wrestlers, and I can't tell the difference from none of them. And Dragon Lee is no different from me. That's all.
All right,
that's what you get for accent. Moving right along.
Dragon Lee got the rocket though. He got the rocket.
But this is a different vision now. This is
he's got the rocket.
They do a whole big old dragon, and he comes out.
Rey Mysterio said he's the future Lucha.
I'm trying to move on so we can get through this. Okay, next is Rhea Ripley versus you. Everybody's gonna have more than enough time after all this is done to give their thoughts and opinions. Okay, I just want to get through the show. All right, so Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Stark. Anybody? I'll throw it to Big Daddy Cool Sour Diesel first.
First and foremost, I want to say Rhea Ripley, what a great ring gear choice. That was so perfect for me. Seeing that ass.
What is wrong with you, bro?
I'm just saying. I love me some Rhea. But above all, it was a great match. Zoe Starks showing her ass again, showing that she has the talent, the in-ring ability. I'm on my Stephen A. The in-ring ability. She has it all. She can do it. I want to see her go far. Rhea, mommy's on top. It was a good match for what it was. That's about it, but Rhea and them chaps.
Dino Pierre, go ahead. What you got?
I'm gonna keep it simple for this one. Rhea Ripley's the greatest women's wrestler on the planet right now. She showed me no reason to why I don't still hold that opinion. Shout out to Zoe Stark. She did her thing too. She can run with the best of them. But yeah, mommy's always on top. Simple.
There you go. Cam.
I'm not on the Zoe Stark train. I really don't like Zoe Stark. I think she's average at best. She's gonna be mid. She'll have a mid career. I think. I haven't seen anything that's impressive. Yeah, she's athletic. Yeah, she can. Kind of talk a little bit, but not that great. But I think Rhea carried her throughout this match. I think Zoe was okay. And they just needed to switch it up. That's all that they needed. That's why Zoe got this opportunity. They just needed to switch it up. Somebody else to add to the notches on the belt for Rhea Ripley. And I don't really see nobody that they currently have like in the Raw title picture that's going to take it off of Rhea. So it was what it was supposed to be. Rhea won, and she's going to continue to win all the way up to Mania.
So.
It's interesting, man, because this was a good match. Definitely, Zoe Stark she can do some really good stuff in the ring. She's talented. Rhea's clearly, I mean, like Steve said, one of the best in the business right now. And not even just as a woman, men and women. I mean, mommy's on top, man, for real. But the women's division in WWE right now, like Cam was saying, they don't really have too many killers up top that can go with Rhea, that can go with, Bianca, really, that when Jade gets up here are going to be able to challenge her too often. And that's kind of, I don't know. I mean, look, Riz putting on some good matches still. She's entertaining out there. So her title reign is great in my opinion. I mean, there are certain things that clearly always could be better, but I think she's doing a good job with what she's being given. It's just tough for me to, one, find that person that she's going to have a great WrestleMania match with that's not Bianca or Jade right now. And that in and of itself is what the problem is.
Why not Bianca? I want to see them run it back infinitely.
Oh, no. Absolutely. That's what I think the match should be and will be. But I'm just saying that's all it is, really. Those are the only two people. I mean, Charlotte, sure, but those are really the only people that I could see going toe-to-toe with Rhea at this point in time, and vice versa. Rhea's the only one that I could see go to toe with both of them. Those three at the top of the line in the women's division, in my opinion, once Jade gets brought up. And I don't know, like you said, Zoe Stark, I think she's good, but she's destined for a mid-card career, man. And Brandon, Rhea, let's find her a challenger for Mania.
Yeah, Brandon.
I think I'm looking past the other women.
It's more women.
I think Nia is great. I think
we still got Becky on the roster. We still got Bailey on the roster.
Who we get? Can we get Roman?
Yeah, let's get Roman.
Brandon.
What's going on? Yeah. So I thought the match was cool. I was telling these guys last night on group chat. I said it was a hot take, but I thought Zoe was actually going to win last night. WWE, they'll surprise you at times. And, last night was full of surprises, and I thought that might have been one of them. But, it didn't happen. Rhea won. I'm cool with that. It's time to give her a credible opponent, though. Zoe Starks, she's cool, but she's not here yet. I hope that she doesn't have a mid-career, because clearly in the ring, I think she could do a lot of things that other women can't. But we'll see how she develops. We'll see how her career goes. I hope that, I wish her all the best, but it's time to give Rhea a credible opponent. Feed her somebody credible. It's time. It's time.
So, who is that, though? Who is that?
Listen, I don't know.
Outside of Bianca and Jade, and, clearly the legends like Charlotte.
Can we assume brand split's not an issue?
I'm sorry?
Can we assume brand split's not an issue?
That's the problem.
I'm asking if we're gonna go hypothetical.
Well. Here's the thing. They just
give me Rhea Asuka.
I would like that.
Give me that.
I would like it.
I would like it, but we did that at Mania, so I'm assuming that the trajectory is Mania, right? So Asuka definitely could go with anybody, and she need to get back on Rhea anyway. Right. I don't mind rematches at WrestleMania. I just don't prefer it. I like new and fresh matches. So, if we were gonna pick somebody currently on the roster or a few people, I do still think that Nia could go.
No. That could be a match if they do it correctly. That could be a
Bailey.
That could be a Hulk Hogan Andre.
I think Nia should be the next one. I don't think it should be Jade, because let's say you do, Jade has to win, right? If you do put her against Rhea, right? And then after that, obviously, I think Mania, they're gonna probably want to do Bianca versus Jade, no? So
maybe SummerSlam,
but let's go. Jade is money.
But when we watched that press conference, they asked about Jade, and for whatever reason, she's not ready, right? And
but we
know why she's not ready. She's boxing.
Yeah, she worked for Tony Khan for the last couple of years. That's why she's not ready.
That's what I'm saying. Even though we all like her, we all hype. She got the total package, physically and all that. But is her in-ring work gonna be ready for Rhea Ripley? No, it's not.
I think she'll be ready. That performance is crazy.
Give Shayna Baszler her Killer Instinct back, and it's going to be Shayna Baszler. Y'all not looking at
Yeah.
that.
I
That is
like
the
Shayna.
pitch.
I
That is
do
the
like
setup
Shayna.
that they're
So
doing.
Y'all know in the group chat, I'm a Shayna Baszler positive.
I'm with
You
you.
are, but you know what
I'd
it
be
is?
into that.
Shayna
Shayna
Baszler
has
positive.
been in limbo after arguably the biggest win of her career.
Bro, they gave her the Ronda win and did nothing with it.
That's what I'm saying. She's
They're
been
building her.
nothing with
Y'all gotta
what's going
look.
on with
Thank
that.
you.
So
Y'all not
So
looking in the background. Y'all not looking at the bigger picture.
That's
They're
right.
building her up. Y'all gotta see.
they tried
Y'all
building
didn't see her last week when they was in the locker room. It was her and Zoe, and how she caught the attitude and left off. She said, "I seen all I need to see," and she stepped off. I'm telling you that it's a build up. It's a story behind that.
Good, Brandon.
Well, I really think what will happen, Salvador, you actually opened up the forum to us. I thought that we would see Shayna do a fake joining of the Judgment Day to get under Rhea Ripley, like to get under her in order to turn her back on her, in order for Shayna to have to run at Rhea Ripley. So that was my thought. Zoe Stark, I do not think is mid at all. Last night, during the press conference, I think it was Sir Wilkins who was trying to ask Charlotte and Becky, who is it that they see are next in line to help start filling up them shoes now that they are becoming, first ballot Hall of Famers based on the career choices they have. And to me, Zoe Stark has that Charlotte Flair component to me. Like, she has different things in her repertoire. She needs to be way better on the microphone, which is why I think she don't do it. But you can give her a mouthpiece. You can give her MVP. Why MVP cannot be with Zoe Stark? Come on, y'all don't see that?
No,
I don't not see it.
I don't see that.
I don't not see it.
Yeah, but
My man.
you're the guy that thinks
I mean,
that
it
is,
will
right?
work.
So,
Well, let me
whatever.
let me say this. I believe that the WWE booked themselves into a corner with Rhea, because as everybody said, there's no one else really to go up against her at this time that make it make sense and viable, right? Because the Raw women's roster is a good roster, but it's not strong enough at this point for someone to be, to say, okay, this is a formidable competition. I'm not a big fan of what's her face?
Zoe Stark.
No, the Rock's cousin.
Nia Jax.
Nia Jax.
Excuse me. I'm not a fan of Nia Jax. Okay, so I wouldn't like to see that match, but I would like to see the Asuka match. I would like to see the Bianca match. When Jade gets good, I would like to see a Jade match. But right now, I don't see any formidable opponents for her.
Give her Randy.
Zoe Stark, I see her eventually becoming a top star. But you're right, she needs a mouthpiece. You know what I mean?
We're forgetting that the women's Royal Rumble is coming up. We also have the Elimination Chamber, which there will be a women's Elimination Chamber match. So there's two opportunities where women that might be on a different brand or however they're doing it right now will be able to vie for whatever title it is that they want to go for come WrestleMania season. There's still story left. We're putting the carriage before the horse here. It's only Survivor Series. So
that's true.
Right. I don't think we're in the danger zone with Rhea Ripley's reign just yet. Like, I think it's fine. Like, we don't need to worry just yet. And again, like Brandon said, with these events coming in, they always bring in talent too. So Trish is going to be coming back. Lita's going to be coming back.
No, don't do it.
Trish is only 27 years old.
That's how you have issues.
Liv Morgan might come back. Alexa Bliss might come back.
Liv Morgan's fine because she's actually like part of the roster.
Yo,
Listen, I had to take him out.
Wait, what?
Wow, that's a first.
I had to just.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
Yeah.
What are we, Starbuck? Wow, cut that man.
Wait, now, which name made you?
Yo, that man cursed at us twice. Like,
which name made you?
Wait, what he says?
Which name?
And Trish Stratus. Like,
somebody else said Liv Morgan. Somebody else said Liv Morgan. Nah, come on, bro.
What? They don't like my girl Liv Morgan up here.
That's crazy.
I specifically, just like I don't like Dragon Lee, I don't like Liv Morgan.
That's crazy.
I don't get how people see her as a women's championship like caliber.
Trish is coming back.
we're gonna get to the main event. You know, I'm gonna use a Michael Cole line saying a 3-man announced team is tough. You could imagine a 6-man announced team, but
He throwing shots, boy.
so all right, we got the main event of the night. All right, it's Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, Dominic Mysterio, JD McDonough versus Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn. You know, I'll start it off this time. Amazing match, amazing. The story was told in this match. I mean, from start to finish. To you know, take a line from Pino. You know, from bell to bell, the action was on point. The story, yes, I know. Thanks, Brandon. Yeah, but the story was on point the entire time. I enjoyed the match, all the spots. I liked the fact that they were still telling different stories in the match, right? Because you started seeing, you know, the Seth and Cody rivalry is going to come back up eventually. The Jey Uso Randy rivalry is going to come up, you know, and you know, you see a little dissension between in the Judgment Day with Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. So I am excited to see what's going to come from this match. I think that it was top notch, and you know, we go from there. All right, who's Pino? You never went first. Go ahead.
Can we just like all take a moment to appreciate how many great faces the WWE has right now?
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes over like Rover, Jey Uso over like Rover, Sami Zayn over like Rover, Randy Orton came back over like Rover, like it, and many more, right? There's others that are on the up and coming too. You got your KOs, your Chad Gables, whatnot. I just want to get that out the way first. The crowd was into the heroic team the entire time. It was incredible. Shout out to Damian Priest in particular on the Judgment Day side. He went crazy, and he is ready for a strap. Get him a belt now, please.
No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Absolutely.
Get him at least get him a championship match. At least get him a championship match, like ASAP.
Okay,
please.
I don't see him getting the strap.
The match to me was exactly what a War Game match should be. Messy, a lot of spots, a lot of emotion. To me, it was one of the most entertaining ones I've ever seen. I think it's second to maybe the Bloodline one that happened last year. Really good match to me. It was a perfect way to end the show. Obviously, I'm sure we'll get into the CM Punk thing. What a way to end it after that, after putting the credits up and everything. Crazy. Just crazy match. Shout out Randy Orton, by the way, too. He looks amazing. Great shape.
Yeah, Brandon.
To me, second best match on the card. It was phenomenal. Again, I'm still sticking by the women's match still being the best. But yeah, it was phenomenal. Steve, you have said this many times, and you just said it. The WWE has so many over baby faces right now. It's incredible. You love to see it. I can't even tell who had the loudest pop out of the original 4 that came out, because all 4 of them came out. Cody, Sammy, Jay, Seth. It seemed like I was waiting to see, all right, who the fans gonna get behind more. It might have been Jay. I think it might have been Jay, but man, you couldn't even tell. I think it was great.
Every time he threw a punch, he was yelling "yeet" like for like the whole match.
Oh, yeah. It was amazing. I really thought that Priest was gonna cash in and win. They got me there. That was amazing. They fooled me.
Creative.
They fooled me. I thought
only
that was
you
going to
though.
happen. Yeah. What happened?
It was only you that was fooled. That was it.
Yeah, you know what? All right, I'm gonna get to you. I'm gonna wait till we're done with this shit. I've been waiting to fry you up all pie, but it's all right though. You're gonna get your moment, man. Don't worry. I'm waiting. I'm patiently waiting. I'm gonna fry you up. Just know that. But yeah, you know,
do, brother.
Randy returning. That was great. I love how the crowd didn't sabotage the moment. They were just behind him 100%. That was amazing. The spot of everybody doing the elevated DDT, that was amazing. Yeah, and again, we'll talk about the CM Punk stuff when that comes back too. As far as Judgment Day losing, that kind of hurts. That's just showing us that the Judgment Day, their days are numbered. Priest is out of there.
Yeah, they're jumping Priest out. Yeah, they're gonna jump that man out.
Priest is about to get packed up, but yeah, it's interesting to see where they go with that. And speaking of JD, shout out to JD. Don't ask me how. JD McDonough is
Took all the spots.
phenomenal.
Took all the spots.
He is phenomenal. He could sell his ass off. He could work his ass off. He's amazing. I forgot the spot he did with Finn. I don't know, that shit was like, oh my god, like you could tell
like those twisty then suplex thing.
Yeah.
Oh, smooth.
You could tell that those two have
them Irish boys be wrestling, don't they?
Yeah, they have some amazing chemistry, and I can't wait till Priest is kicked out or jumped out, whatever. I don't know what they're gonna do, but yeah, it was a great match, and then everything else we'll talk about later, obviously. So.
What I would say about this match was impeccable match. Lots of storytelling, as y'all all have said. Who I think really stood out in this match, B already said it, was JD McDonough. He took a lot. He gave a lot. More importantly, I think there was a lot of storytelling told between, fleshing out bloodline issues between Jay Uso and Randy Orton with Cody Rhodes. You guys all have said there's been so many faces, and I think that there are faces too many, so I think there will be turns soon, okay? I think a major turn that is going to happen is Cody Rhodes. I'm sorry. I see Cody Rhodes turning, and I do not see him being. I've been preaching this since he came. This white hot baby face. He's the most biggest white hot baby face. You brought Jey Uso over. You brought the problems over to Raw. This to me tells me that you have seeds of a heel in you. And we've never seen the American Nightmare heel in the WWE. So I think this is what we have coming up. And in order for him to finish the story, he's going to have to be healed. That's the story that I think that we saw here. When we talk about CM Punk, I'll talk about CM Punk. But I think that this was a good story. Unfortunately, I think that Seth Rollins, as the world champion, got drowned out in this match if it wasn't for Damian Priest acting like he was going to cash in. And that's my opinion on that.
That reign is ready to be done. No offense. It's been great.
The reign.
It's been great.
Those days are numbered.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So, wait. Your mic, you're muted.
But yeah, bro, that reign has been, I don't want to say long overdue to be ended, but there have been so many times where they could have got off the highway where I think it would have been a good exit, and they just keep going. I mean, listen, you do that sometimes, but this match was a banger and a half. This match was a banger and a half. I mean, JD McDonough falling straight on his face from 10 feet up and eating an RKO. I mean, you just got to give a guy credit for having the balls to do something like that, just in general, like in life. Like, think about doing that. That's insane. But this entire match, this entire card, I mean, you got to give all of them credit always for doing stuff like that. But he really sold out in this match, and he's been doing a hell of a damn job in general of selling. Like, I didn't know very much about JD McDonough, man, but guy's proven a lot to me in a very little time. And Damian Priest, he'll get his shot. He'll get in there, but I think the World Heavyweight Championship picture is so fuzzy right now. There's so many different ways they could go there, and I think they should go. Like they definitely should make a detour off of where they're at. But man, this was a hell of a match and a good way to probably send off what we've known of Judgment Day so far up to this point, because they're definitely going to be changing, if not tomorrow night, within the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, so much to unpack. All right, so yeah, JD McDonough is the MVP for the Judgment Day team. I really think that he did a really good job, as all of you have said. Shout out to the entire match. I think, like, I know they say the match officially begins when everybody's in the ring, but the match was phenomenal way before it officially started, right? And I love the way that it protected Randy, because after the match officially started, it wasn't that much longer till the match was over, right? So shout out to them with that, with protecting Randy, keeping Randy looking strong, keeping Randy looking good after this double back fusion surgery and whatnot. I really think that I really wanted the Judgment Day to win, to like kind of show like a really strong showing, but the fact that like all the baby faces was so hot and they needed a win. I think a lot of them are going to go now on like this real hard journey of like battles and controversy. I think that the Elimination Chamber is going to start to show. So I think Started to show all of the dissension, all the little, like now it's all about me type of thing. That might be where Damian will finally cash in, because I think we should have got off the Seth Rollins championship train during the Shinsuke rivalry. I like that. I really wanted Shinsuke to win.
I said Nakamura still hurts.
Yeah.
You know
what I mean? And they did it twice too. So it was like, yo, what are they really doing? But I think this whole new factor of Seth being hot over CM Punk being here is probably going to be the exit that we all want. It's going to have a nice pop. It's going to be something that we're going to be talking about for a minute. The match overall, I think it was a 5-star match. I liked it. I liked it a lot to have all those elements, all that storytelling. I will say one thing about the overall pay-per-view. I was surprised that in the non-War Games matches that the other competitors didn't use both rings. Like I really was waiting. I was waiting.
I hate that they don't do that. I hate that they don't take that opportunity to do that.
Yeah, like there was alternating which ring was in which match or whatever. I was like, why don't you just use both rings? Like that, that's a very unique opportunity to do something crazy. Especially the Dragon Lee Santos match. I thought they was gonna do something crazy and whatnot. But
like I'm not a performer. I don't know how much more difficult that makes it, but that would be nice as a visual. It's the one night a year that you guys are using a double ring.
Double rings, yeah.
D, go ahead.
What a phenomenal match! Great match. Shout out to JD McDonough. I want to give you my flowers. Here you go. He showed his ass off. To me, he's like the next bestseller in WWE that they got right now.
Absolutely.
Far from Zick. Oh, he's gone.
He's wearing a devil mask. Go ahead.
Okay. Seeing Randy Orton return back though was really great. Seeing him, he is in great shape. That reminded me of like when Triple H came back in 2001. Remember, he was just so ripped.
Jack.
It gave me that feeling right
mind.
there. Edge at the Rumble. It gave me that right there. This was like a perfect way of seeing like true good guys versus bad guys. Because you have all these 5 faces that everybody's going so hard for, that's doing their thing in the company, and you have Judgment Day, the most hillish faction that there is in the WWE right now. It was sad to see that they lost because I was hoping that they won, but we should have known that was not going to happen, being that Randy came back, unless they would have turned him heel that same night, and then they would have. Okay. But it was a good match. I like it.
All right, so that is the end of the pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen. We made it. Congratulations.
We made it through the War Games pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so now, but we have a bonus, Brandon thought. We have a bonus, right? Mm-hmm. When we thought everything was done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? When we thought the show was over.
Mm-hmm.
The lights changed. You pointed that out to me after I talked to you earlier today.
Yeah, I said, let me tell you something. I've been watching WWE for a very long time. And the way that they went off air, everybody knows I'm into production. I said, when they went off, I said, when do they ever go off air and there's an aerial shot of you showing the audience when they go off air? They will show you the main character or what you want to see, and then you'll see the little copyright. When they went to the aerial shot and I saw the light flicker before CM Punk's music hit, I said, oh shit, CM Punk is coming out. He's coming. Lo and behold, the music hit, Cult of Personality hits, and Phillip Brooke, a.k.a. CM Punk, comes out. The crowd, the wooden roof of the All-State Arena, because they have a wooden roof.
Yeah, they have a wooden roof, yeah.
Arena blows off the top, and everybody go buck banoodles crazy. Now the internet has been saying yay, the internet has been saying nay. Right here on the Three Amigos podcast show, we want to know what you guys think. What did everybody think about CM Punk coming at the end of the Survivor Series War Games pay-per-view? I'm gonna toss it over to somebody from the Gimmick Infringement podcast. I'm gonna toss it over to you, Brandon.
What did I think? Well, that's some exceptional awareness from you, talking about the aerial shot and everything. I wouldn't have even thought about that. I honestly thought he wasn't coming out, and I really thought that was it. But they had me. He came out. I thought it was phenomenal. Where do we rank this on greatest returns ever?
1.
This might be.
I'm not even a CM Punk fan. It's number 1.
Yeah, this might be the best return
I think so.
of all time. You want to talk about people coming back looking great? R-Truth looks good. Who else came back?
What's up?
Now that's the real return from last night.
Right.
Love R-Truth.
Randy looks good. And CM Punk looks good.
It's the Ruffles. It's Ruffles.
Steve, you said it last night. Did you guys see how CM Punk looked in the white tee? I'm like, yo, he's
you filling out his shirt. He don't look like a crackhead no more. I'm telling you, you leave Tony Khan and your life get better. All right? Can we talk about it? Can we talk about it? Look at Cody. Look what Jay's about to be. Like, yo, it's over.
He put some. He got some Just for Men, a little bit of gray. Like he doesn't look 50 years old anymore. Like he actually came back looking like he's ready. And you know what? I'm excited to see where this goes. I think he'll be a part-timer in the WWE. I think they're gonna use him as like a
enhancement.
No, I don't think he'll be enhanced.
They gave him Edge old contract.
But
big PLEs.
Yeah, big PLEs. That's it. Yeah, you're not gonna see him every week. I think we'll see him on Monday, obviously. But yeah, I was excited, man. And you know what? If you listen to me now, Philip, this is your last chance, brother. Don't fuck it up. This is your last chance. Every moment count. Because you know what? You're back. You're hotter than ever. And you better do what it do, man. You better go out there. You better give it your all because, listen, you get blackballed again, that's it for you, man.
You're going to be a hard wrestler.
Happy you're back. And I know that you're going to do big things in WWE this time around. So that's all I really got to say about it.
Look like D. Go ahead, D. You have something to say.
Sorry, D. You said you wanted to go next. Go ahead.
Welcome back, Philip. Now, this is what I always say, right? I always say this. You always have to stop at the store before you go home. He stopped at the store. AEW was the store. He came back to AEW looking like a goddamn crackhead. He came back to WWE looking like a man with some goddamn money. He looked like he got the man got his own money. All right, that's what he looked like.
He got his own money.
Did you see him? He looked clean. He looked clean. He cleaned up nice.
You know what my question is? Not to cut you. Is he still getting the last bit of his contract from AEW?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fired him without cause, I would assume, right? Because he didn't like break any of their actual rules. They just fired him because he wasn't gelling with them.
Remember, Tony Khan went on television.
I'm not gonna take this shit anymore. I'm not gonna take this shit.
Like when Jada just said he was gonna drop the refrigerator.
I'm not gonna take this shit anymore. Get the
fuck out of here.
I definitely wouldn't want to get down any legal holes here, but man, Tony does a lot to himself online that would make any type of like anything in a courtroom difficult to work with because his Twitter game ain't strong. That's for certain, man. My man puts himself in a lot of damn holes.
Tony Khan a weaker Eric Bischoff.
I'll on his return. But see, Eric Bischoff had ideas. Now,
yeah.
Well, let me take the plural off. He had an idea. But his idea worked for 83 weeks straight. Tony Khan's idea hasn't worked for 2 weeks straight. You know what I mean?
I didn't mean to compare their greatness. Make no mistake. I meant that as a super insult to Tony Khan. He dreams of being Eric Bischoff.
Real quick, did CM Punk kill AEW last night?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Survivor Series killed.
I think AEW
last night before CM Punk killed AEW last night.
Yeah, true. Even before CM Punk arrived.
Let me say this. No, let me say this. I believe that if Tony Khan, this is the point that I've had with Brandon and on the show before. If Tony Khan actually focuses on the business aspect of AEW and have actual writers, right? Actual people to write the shows, I think that they would be a formidable number 2 company. They will never be number 1 because you can't take away the lineage of WWE, right? They've been going on since the 1920s. You can't take away their lineage, but they have. I'm telling the truth. They've been since Vince McMahon's grandfather came off the Mayflower. You know.
Now was he on the Nina, the Pinto, or the Santa Maria?
Yeah. Since Toots Mont McMahon. Okay, that's his name, Toots Mont McMahon. He started the business as a boxing company back in the 1920s. Then it went to Vince McMahon Sr. Now it was the Vinnie Mac, now the Triple H. Well, actually now actually Ari, Ari Emanuel. But if Tony Khan actually has people writing the product, it could be a formidable number 2 company. The problem is Tony Khan wants to be Dusty Rhodes. He wants to be
Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman. He wants to do everything, and it's impossible. No man is his own island. You can't do everything. It's impossible. And you're writing for 2 companies at once. He's writing for ROH. The
problem is Vince did it, and everybody wants to be Vince.
Vince did not do that. No. Thank you, Zoo, for agreeing. Vince did not do that. Vince always had people with him to help write the product.
No, but every piece of the product goes through one man, though. It literally, he's the physical embodiment. Even before you get to the ramp, you have to go through him.
You're not the one coming up. They might filter through you, but you're not coming up with the idea. Mm-hmm. Tony's coming up with the idea. Remember, in the 1980s,
ideas.
So that's why. Well, why do you think? Let's call a spade a spade. Why do you think that AEW puts on phenomenal pay-per-views, but we don't know how the fuck we got to the match?
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with you.
I'm not disagreeing with you. To the match. Every time you watch,
you're not gonna hear me defend AEW today.
You're always confused on how the fuck did we get to the match.
You know what I want to know? How the fuck we got to? How we got here? Because we were totally talking about CM Punk's.
It's fluid. It's fluid. Exactly. Thank you, Master.
How the hell did we get here?
Now Brandon is helping us complete the loop.
He thought of CM Punk's return, and you turned this into Tony Khan died last night when CM Punk came out.
Somebody asked the question.
I asked it. I said, did CM Punk kill AEW last night?
Yeah.
AEW can't.
Well, did CM Punk kill WWE last night?
No.
Needs to be seen. So
work. All that stuff is a work.
It was all. It was to do what we're doing right now, to create the talk.
Right, to create the conversation.
It's different points of views. Last night, what I did feel like, though, it was disrespectful to take away from the victors that was standing in the ring. That's what I didn't like.
What? First of all,
wait.
He is CM Punk, right? So if he is going to come and he's going to do something, he is not going to come in the ring and shake everybody's hands. People already feel like that CM Punk is controversial, that he is disrespectful, that he isn't, So for him to interrupt their victory, he came to let him know, like, yo, I'm here now, niggas. Like, I'm here.
No.
Why not? Who do you hold accountable for that? Do you hold him accountable for that?
Triple H.
Or
Triple H
accountable for that?
It's Triple H. But also, it's playing to the gimmick. You got to live the gimmick.
That's
what
controversial.
No. That's the most controversial.
That is not the gimmick.
That's the gimmick. That's his whole thing.
That was in real life, though. These were real life situations to why people did not like him.
What was the real life situation why they didn't like him?
Nah, the reason why people don't like Punk is because Punk be living the gimmick. He is an asshole character, so he be a real asshole in real life. That's why people don't like Punk.
I felt like
whoever. Whoever.
Just everybody on the street.
And he does it very well.
They should have won with
Somehow, some way, we all want to see him.
Backstage stuff coming to.
Who was he being an asshole to?
I feel like they should have went with the.
Keep it up.
I feel like they should have went with the Nakamura shit. They should have had Nakamura shit play. Let Nakamura come out. Let her talk his shit. Let the people boo the fuck out of him.
For him to be booed out of the
fuck out of him. Because for weeks we all wanted to know who the fuck he was talking about.
I think we're gonna find
out.
Did we
or did we not? That's more valuable on Raw, not in Chicago. Like,
yeah,
you need to it's more valuable on Raw. It's more valuable on Raw, but the taunts was who was he talking about, and who's going to show up when he creates this supposedly open challenge was CM Punk. So that should have happened. I feel like him coming out was disrespectful to the talent who was still in the ring trying to get their chance. Like, come on.
Listen, CM Punk is not wrestling Shinsuke Nakamura to figure out if he's going for the world title. When CM Punk comes, CM Punk is going to be guaranteed already a goddamn title shot. They'll give him a bullshit match and make it seem like he earned it or whatever to give him a storyline.
I think they'll give him a Shinsuke feud to warm him up.
To be coming in to fight Nakamura to see if you're going to fight Seth Rollins when niggas was talking greasy on Twitter for 2 months. Seth Rollins and CM Punk, which is why Seth Rollins played into the whole "fuck you, get out of here," and everybody believes it on Sports Center.
It's a beautiful word.
What I'm saying though, but it creates that same stigma from like saying like, oh, now the locker room is talking and now everybody mad that CM Punk.
You know what this locker room needs?
A lethal dose of poison.
All right, even Drew McIntyre.
That's what CM Punk is. A lethal dose of
poison.
All right,
even when Drew,
come on. We need that. We need that feeling back, bro. We need that feeling back in the locker room. CM Punk gonna make that shit toxic. Everybody gonna be. You heard about Drew McIntyre?
Stop believing the storylines are actually real. Okay,
but just listen to me.
We heard you for like the last 10 minutes, bro. We got it.
I wouldn't know because I was getting cut off so many goddamn times.
Nah, that's my
fault. That's why you heard me for 10 goddamn minutes, motherfucker.
That's my fault.
It's 6 people here. You gotta get
fucking elbow drop, bitch.
Right, listen. I agree with Saudi. Right, it was disrespectful, but.
Man.
The only reason why I said that because in the moment I wasn't liking how they did the return. I wanted the return to happen. I didn't like how they did it.
What do you mean? The credits.
Let me just say this. Let me just say this real quick. I agree with all of you saying that it's to play into the gimmick because it's to play into the gimmick of everyone. Even with Seth Rollins with the continuous beef on Twitter. It could play into the gimmick for Drew McIntyre to even go more heel. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I believe it plays into the gimmick. That's it.
Right. So what I was saying is that when it was happening in real time, I was like, yo, why is he coming out now at the end of the show, at the end of the match or whatever. But I was trying to figure out who he was looking at, right? Because the social media let us know what was going on. The camera, the show, the broadcast itself wasn't showing who he was looking at. He was smirking. When he do that little evil smirk he was doing, I was like, what the fuck is he smirking at? Like, and why are they only showing CM Punk? They're not showing the wrestlers in the ring. I got it was his moment. I got it was his town or whatever. But the whole thing with the Seth Rollins on social media, wilding out and all that makes more sense. It makes more sense now that it happened post that's why he came out when he came out. When it was happening in the moment, I didn't like it. Like I was excited, but I really didn't like it overall because I was trying to figure out how was this helping out a storytelling angle. But shout out to WWE. That's why they've been doing this since the 1920s, like Mashup said. Like they already know what they're doing. They already have the plan. They've been planning, months ahead, and they always got avenues for when new things arise. They're gonna be able to work it in and work it out. I'm excited to see what happens. I can't wait till Monday Night Raw.
I don't want to cut you off, right? At the press conference, right? Triple H said, right, basically, this is paraphrasing. Triple H stated that, one, the last press conference before that, they do long-term booking. This one, he stated basically that with CM Punk, it was a last minute, quote unquote, last minute thing. Do we actually believe that it was a last minute thing or not? That's here nor there. That's the business aspect. The one thing that's constant in the world is change. And what happens with a lot of WWE fans and marks is when change happens very quickly, they're not able to adapt. Everybody still think that it's the storytelling of Cody Rhodes finishing the dream, this kind of clean way of how people finishing the dream, and not thinking about all these other different complex stories with Seth Rollins and CM Punk. I love when change happened, and I love when, especially somebody like Triple H, I always toot Triple H's horn because he's also a historian. So he understands how to do story building. If Triple H can get over Cody Rhodes breaking his throne, and Triple H can get over what CM Punk said during the pipe bomb, if it's best for business, it's best for business. Business is not personal. It's just business. And that's all I got to say about that.
And also people, it's scripted television. Like I just want to say that it's freaking scripted television. Like we can't necessarily believe everything that we see. Sometimes we have to suspend the disbelief. Like I just look. There was no, I respect my two colleagues. My two fellow broadcast journalists, and I just want to say that I disagree. When was the right time? When would have been the right time to bring him out? You couldn't bring him out in the beginning of the show. You couldn't bring him out in the middle of the show. You had to bring him out at the end. And here's the thing. It's only helping the talent. When he came out, it's not disrespectful. It's helping the talent. To speak on Dee's point, I've seen many people today put that same point out, that they felt disrespected about him coming out. But I think it's only to enhance the talent, because at the end of the day, that is now you're like, okay, a lot of people, I'm sick of him. Fuck CM Punk. That's what they're saying. How dare he? So that builds heat on CM Punk, right? And then the people that actually like CM Punk, that's like, you know what? Great. I was happy. I'm a big CM Punk dude. I'm happy that he came back. I'm happy that he did what he did. And I like that he didn't grab a microphone. That was the greatest moment ever. I
save that for later.
A microphone.
I agree with that. Anybody else got any last sentiments about CM Punk?
Best for business.
Facts.
Best in the world
is change your moniker from
best in the world is best for business.
Are we getting an all-time promo on Monday?
Oh yeah.
We're getting an interruption by Shinsuke as soon as he starts talking.
Shinsuke.
Man, if Shinsuke don't stay his ass back,
I would die.
Nobody.
That would be hilarious.
Stay his ass backstage.
Yeah, I go
Soon as he starts talking.
Is this damage control?
Shinsuke walking out, Triple H just grabs him real quick.
I need
get back here.
I need CM.
We're gonna see a heated brawl out
for 20 minutes tomorrow. I need him to be on the mic. 20 minutes.
I'm not
20 minutes
for that fucking long.
Yo,
that ain't happening. You're raising your hopes too high, bro.
I think he's probably counting the entire segment. From the moment the music hits, he makes a lap around the arena, jumps around in the crowd. Somebody comes out. Not just CM Punk. CM Punk gonna talk for 20 minutes, and they're gonna cut his mic off.
I have one last opinion about the show as a whole, and it pains me to say this as somebody that acknowledges my tribal chief. But this show just proved that they could do a 5-star show and break numbers without Roman Reigns there. It's time to end the reign. It's time to figure it out how we go. Nah, but it's time to let's figure out what the path forward is right now, and let's start building to it now. But let's get it done. First of all,
the reason why everyone is coming and why it's a whole big thing.
They're planning for post Reigns.
Okay,
yeah.
Hello.
They're planning for post Reigns reality.
Roman Reigns. Why CM Punk is coming back is Roman Reigns.
Right.
So let's not forget that he's the whole undertone.
Man, this reign has been
incredible. What happens? I'm gonna call up the wise.
He let.
No, I'm with it. I'm listening. You know I'm at.
Now. You
know I'm at.
With that,
look. Sometimes you gotta let the B show get some shine. That's it.
Yeah. Do he go to Raw or do he go to SmackDown?
This is a lot of shine. He gonna go to Raw.
Get some.
He gonna go to Raw.
However, 10-9-8-7-6-5-4-3-2-1. It is time to discuss some things, and it is time for the disputed countdown. And on this disputed countdown, Masquerade Cam, let them know what is going on this countdown. This is everybody's favorite segment. Go ahead.
All right, gentlemen and viewers of all ages. We got a disputed countdown this week, and this week we're discussing the greatest Survivor Series teams. Just the teams, right? The greatest Survivor Series teams. All right.
Come on.
Before we get started, though, all right, I was watching a bunch of Survivor Series matches and whatnot. And it's only 10. It's only 10. Only 10. Only squeeze it down to 10. But I'm gonna do some honorable mentions. Honorable mention to the Team Raw Men's 2016 team and the Team SmackDown Men's 2016 team. If y'all don't remember who was on those teams, I'm gonna let you know right now. Team Raw was Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, and Braun Strowman.
Oh, that shit was fire.
Full world championship team. It's an all-star team that really has never really happened before in Survivor Series history. But Team SmackDown Live, because remember it was the SmackDown Live era, right? They had Shane O'Mac, Dean Ambrose, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and Bray Wyatt. And Team SmackDown Live won that match. So it was a really good match. So honorable mention to them. That was actually one of the best Survivor Series matches. But to the countdown. All right, so number 10, we got the Team Raw Women's 2016 team. All right, and that had Alicia Fox, Nia Jax, all right, Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Bayley got the win. Now, Bayley got pinned by Becky Lynch. All right, and this was part of the trajectory of moving Bayley up the card. I mean, not Bayley, moving Becky up the card. All right, and Charlotte Flair had a nice little turn on her compatriot in that match. Number 9. I'll put this one for Brandon. All right, this one's for Brandon. Team Miz from 2009. Now, if y'all remember 2009, all right, what was happening with the Miz? He was actually WWE champion, right? So he had Drew McIntyre on his team, all right, Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler, all right. And on that,
it's your guy, D. It's your guy. Yo, Big Daddy Cool Sour Diesel. That's your guy.
That is your guy.
That's your guy. You love Dolph Ziggler. And
yo, Mr. Ziggles was the man. Mr. Ziggles was on the come up, right?
When he's always been on the come up for 20 years. Proceed.
All right, number 8. This is a nice throwback for y'all. All right, the $1 Million Team from 1990.
Nice.
The $1 Million Team from 1990. All right, we was all little kids, all little snot-nosed joints. It was like, oh yeah, let's go, let's do it. But the $1 Million Team was a really good heel team that won. It had Greg Valentine, the Honky Tonk Man, Ted DiBiase, and The Undertaker. Right? That's why he was scaring all of us as little kids. He was a sole survivor in that match too. So,
great glove.
If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. It is a really fun time. Really fun.
Was that his debut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
From Death Valley.
Look at the size of that ham hock.
All right, moving forward. Number 7. All right, it was the All-Star team of 2004. Right, we had John Cena, Big Show, Rob Van Dam, and Eddie Guerrero Latino Heat. All right, as the best team in that match. The sole survivors was Big Show, John Cena, and Eddie Guerrero. They had great spots in that match. As they just tore the house down. Number 6, one of my favorites of all time, except for how the first person got eliminated, which was Team Authority in 2014.
Oh, Mark Henry.
Henry, Seth Rollins, Kane, Rusev, and Luke Harper. Rest R.I.P. to Luke Harper, bro.
Yeah.
But that match,
Henry took that early pin, right?
He did.
Yeah.
And that
early.
My feelings. I thought he was about to make another comeback. You know what I mean? I thought he was about to
do
and who was the sole survivor of that match?
Roman? Ziggles. Oh, right, he won.
Yeah, but he won thanks to help to Sting, because that's when they was trying to bring Sting back.
That's
for the first time into WWE.
Yeah.
So
he won that match and he didn't go nowhere.
he pinned like 3 people too.
On the come up for 20
he
years.
Did. He did.
It was a 3-1 lead, and he came back.
Undercover forever. But it
came back off the 3-1 lead, man.
That that match had really good storytelling, but that team overall, that was a dope ass team. If y'all remember though, the very next night on Raw, they had the decision overturned. So technically, Seth's team, the Authority, they won that match because Sting wasn't supposed to be there.
Listen, heel Seth is goated.
Yo, heel Seth is boss. All right, number 5, Team Raw from 2017. Now, this one ranks high for me, not because of the opposition, but in spite of having some glory hogs on the team. But Kurt Angle, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and Triple H
fire one
was a fire ass to have, and to have Triple H and Braun Strowman just kind of just like, you know what, we about to just body the rest of these people.
I wanted to see them.
It was going against like Shane O'Mac and whatnot. It was you know what I mean? Daniel Bryan was tight. He was on the outside, couldn't fight yet. All right, number 4. All right, this one was the first time they had a 3-team Survivor Series match, and I'll give it out to Team NXT.
Fire.
Even though Team NXT lost.
What happened to Keith Lee?
Bruh. That joint was crazy. But yeah, Keith Lee and Walter, you know what I mean?
He took the early pin.
He took the early pin, and we was like, what? That's when Vince was running the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how you know Vince was there.
He wasn't ready for the ring general. But the team was made up of Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, Damian Priest, Matt Riddle, and Walter. It was just like a great premonition to the future of what WWE was going to be.
And who was on that?
Roman was going at it, boy.
Yeah, and then Roman, he went crazy in that to win.
Yeah, him and Roman had a nice little one-on-one.
Yeah, definitely. Number 3, we get into the top 3 now. Team SmackDown from 2005. All right, and it's got a lot of favorites on this team. We had JBL, Batista, Bobby Lashley, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, and this was actually, I think, the first time Randy was the sole survivor. I know he did it like 4 times in a row. 4 times overall in his career.
Yeah. Team Raw that year was fire too.
It was. They was.
Kane, Big Show, Shawn Michaels, Chris Masters, and was it Cena?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I mean, you could have just stopped at Chris Masters, bro. That right there.
Nah, he was the weak link.
Maybe the master.
He was the weak link. But the Master Lock was tough back in the day.
It was.
That's
why Bobby had to bring it back and call it the Hurt Lock, because he was the first one to break the Master Lock, and he just took it.
Right. Yeah. Technically, Shawn Michaels low blowed him. Remember? Mm-hmm. Technically, Shawn Michaels low blowed him.
You sound like some Chris Masters apologist.
I am a Chris Masters apologist.
I am too. He absolutely should have been a top star. There's 2 stars,
and he was young.
Era. Yeah, there's 2 stars from that era that I'm mad that we didn't get to see be in the main event picture. It's Chris Masters and Mr. Kennedy. So
well, you see it right now with LA Knight. So stop complaining. Go ahead.
No. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about what's going on. I'm talking about what happened back then.
Shout out to Eric Drake. Shout out to the old Eric Drake moniker.
I'm not talking about 2023. Like those
the LA Knight.
LA Knight. LA Knight is Mr. Kennedy.
And I'm gonna say this with all due respect.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Kennedy was way. Give me Mr. Kennedy over LA Knight.
Yeah, but that's Randy's fault.
That is Randy's fault.
Yeah, it's Randy and Cena's fault.
I mean, it happened. It happened. I mean, it wouldn't be the first case of people using their backstage politics to, get the fuck out of there.
Absolutely not. But at the same time, it's just, you got to take that into account. Those 2 failed for very different reasons.
Yes.
Well, I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
Yeah. And maybe the fans listening and watching should tune into the Gimmick Infringement podcast to hear more about that. Right?
Right, there you go. Correct, Mr. Brandon Dog.
Angela,
all right, number 2 on the count. Now, y'all ready for number 2?
Moving right along.
Ready for number 2.
All right, number 2. Team DX from 2006.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, nice choice.
Highly entertaining match. and I think one of the few times every member made it to the end of the match. But the members was Triple H, Shawn Michaels, CM Punk, Matt Hardy, and Jeff Hardy, and it was just a highly entertaining match.
You had me at Hardy, but go ahead.
It was
crazy.
Shawn Michaels did his best work in his comeback time in that match. I loved it. It was highly entertaining. And the number one Survivor Series team of all time, Team WWE 2001, right? With The Rock, Chris Jericho, The Undertaker, Kane, and Big Show.
Yeah.
Right? They went head to head with the Alliance, ECW and WCW, and then finally done away with the WCW ECW Alliance angle, and it had The Rock going up against Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like it should have been, and like those were two. It was just like the pinnacle of it, so it was dope as hell. All right,
that's when Kurt Angle, right? He kind of like turned, right? He was acting like he was with them, and then
yeah.
That was a really good Survivor. That was a good Survivor Series. Survivor Series took a lot of different faces, though, right? Like it went through the traditional Survivor Series tag, as we see reflective in your list. It's normally reflective of how what's going on in wrestling today, how they do the Survivor Series match, from the traditional Survivor Series match to even the impactful type of Survivor Series where we don't remember the traditional matches, like the Screw Job, right, in '97. Or like Deadly Games when they were crowning a new champion.
Right.
Those are different times in Survivor Series, that has started to shape what the WrestleMania and what wrestling was going to look like for that year. But we're going to move on to our conversation, ladies and gentlemen. This is where the Gimmick Infringement Podcast and the Three Amigos Podcast engage in what is known as War Games! And with that, that's to wake y'all up. And with that being said, we've been discussing factions for a while. And we're going to talk about our top 3 favorite factions or stables, right? On a random, either team can go. If you agree with someone on the other team's faction, you can support that faction because that's a faction on your list. You understand what I'm saying? You don't gotta, create a fake ass beef. If it's something that's not on your list, on top 3 stables or factions, then you can feel your right to defend it. But keep in mind, this is audio and visual. We want the fans to hear your side. You want the fans and the listeners to agree with you or disagree with you. So talk clearly. Let it be one mic, one light. So anybody who wants to take the floor, we could have flipped a coin, but I thought that was corny.
Wait, are we doing all time or just right now?
It's all of the stables and factions, all of them that you ever could think of,
all time,
all time, all of it. Yeah, top 3.
I know one that's going to be in all of our top 3 on the Gimmick Infringement side, Evolution.
Absolutely, that's the one.
And I think that is number 1.
Absolutely.
I think there's just too many world championships between the 4 of those guys. It's insane.
I don't even think you need to look at it just from the perspective of what they did as individuals after the fact. I think you could look at it just in that time where they were all together as a unit, holding down Raw completely, having every single title. I mean, that was peak Triple H in terms of, right at the end of that reign of terror, this dude, he was honored at that time, man. And I just got to be real with you. Evolution, they just it's hard to match them. I tried to be objective and look at some other teams there, man. But number 1 spot, it's got to be those boys. They killed it, man, and they did the right thing by making sure Mark Jindrak wasn't in that group either.
Yeah, they sure did. Gotta love fate.
So is that all of you guys, like, y'all don't have a separate top 3, or y'all just agreed on what number 1 is?
I think we all agree on number 1.
So your number 1 is Evolution.
Evolution is a mystery.
Evolution. All right. So we're going to keep that in the box. Ding. We had graphics. That's next season. Ding. It'll be. Ding. We're going to put Evolution as y'all number 1. Either one of y'all want to let us know which is your number 3?
Well, my number 3, I am going to have to go with the New Day. And I think in terms of longevity, in terms of success, I mean, both as singles competitors and as a tag team. I mean, every single one of them has a major singles achievement, whether it be a world championship or a King of the Ring in Woods' sense. I mean, every single one of those guys has continued to keep themselves fresh and ability to stay together in WWE, where they want to break you up. They want to make, that classic, like, oh, hey, we got a faction. Oh, look, we got a gimmick match right here. No, they never did that. They never allowed that to happen. And I think just that in of itself, it should get you right on that top 3, bro. And accolades I'm taking off. But if you add the accolades, they're a guaranteed top 3, in my opinion. All 3 of those guys deserve a lot of respect for what they've done over the years. And they reinvigorated WWE's tag team division. Not tag team as a whole, because that was some indie stuff. But them, WWE, absolutely. Give them a lot of credit for that. Them Usos.
And they did it for a decade.
They did.
Exactly.
They were my number 2, so I'm going to back it up with also adding on top of that the amount of merch and fucking bootios and cereal and shit. And it was on just on pop culture in the whole. So they were my number 2 of stable and faction. So I'm gonna have to back you up, Zoo, on that one. I fucks with that the long way. Anybody else on the gimmick infringement? I say copyright infringement. Gimmick infringement podcast want to go with what their number 3 or number 2 is?
I think for me, go ahead, Brendan. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say DX number 2 for me. Absolutely. Where do you begin? Just, you want to talk about the culture? We see it all the time. We see all the tweets and everything. Retweet this if you ever got suspended or got in trouble for doing this to one of your teachers and stuff like that. And you got to just look at who was in charge of that. Triple H, Shawn Michaels. Like, look at them individually, but not only individually, look at them together. Their rebrand back in 2006 and everything, and how they came back and they just shook shit up. It was also, you want to talk about it for the kids. Yeah, I mean, DX is number 2. It's not even close. And it's amazing how Triple H is a part of the top 2 factions, stables of all time.
Right.
And I hold Triple H at such a high. I'll put it this way. Depending on what we see over the next 5 to 10 years with Triple H being the head of creative, I think that he may go down as the number 1 wrestling mind of all time. When you talk about his career in the ring and out of the ring, he may go down as the most important figure in wrestling history. So,
not only do we share the same name, but we share the same mind and opinion when it comes to that. That was eloquently said. I wish we had a round of applause on this goddamn show, because goddamn it, that was so nicely put.
I disagree with that, but I agree with the fact that he said it. I just disagree with Triple H going down as the greatest.
Of course you do.
I don't see it.
How can he go down as the most important wrestling figure?
No, I mean, we have a couple years until we can actually really have that.
Well, you know what it is. Yeah. No one's gonna top this list with Ric Flair. Yeah, important wrestling figure of all time. So that's why
I think you could argue Triple H would go down as probably more important for wrestling than Ric Flair.
Yeah,
in a couple of years.
Listen, Cam represents the peanut gallery, because I wasn't going to say Ric Flair.
Okay, so who is your most important wrestling figure then?
It's Vince McMahon. It is Vince Kennedy McMahon.
We're still on the gimmick infringement, Cam. Okay, so I'm not supposed to give my opinion just yet.
Right now, it's still Vince. I think is the most important wrestling figure of all time. I think
that's fine. Yeah, it's Vince McMahon, but think about it. Like I said, and this is why I said over the next 5 to 10 years, we have to see how it goes. And if it goes how it's looking like it's going to go, how could you argue it? He's a top 10 wrestler all time, arguably top 5, and he would have did it with or without being married into the family. Let's get that straight too. People,
I don't even think we got to bring that up.
Yeah.
Stop.
No. Let's talk about it.
No. Let him go.
Let's have a conversation.
Let's talk about it.
Stop the.
I don't even think
we don't need to talk about the guy.
If you want to step into the fire, I'll take you straight to hell. If you want to combat me on this,
this ain't really something to talk about because the guy. I mean, you think that Triple H, if he was just a wrestler, would have been where he is right now?
Yeah,
that's impossible.
Because think about it.
That wouldn't happen.
Why?
Just from a political standpoint, that would never happen backstage. Like he wouldn't get to that role. Like Vince would never put him there if he wasn't in the family.
No. Okay, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about.
He's talking about.
Let's go back to his singles career.
Yeah.
If he did
you guys missed that.
Whether he married Stephanie or not, whether he married into the family, he still would have had the same singles career. If you ask me, because you can't. You can't take away the in-ring work, and you can't take away his mic skills. Triple H is a 10 out of 10 on the mic. You put him on he delivers gold.
Like an 8.
9 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
I wouldn't give him that.
He's a great heel.
It's a great promo.
There's been great heel people that had good lines, and like in that era of the hot catchphrase.
Brandon, you already know my argument is every time you try to compare his mic skills to other people that are real 10 out of 10s. He worked in an era against Austin and Rock and was consistently outclassed by them on the mic.
Right.
Not that he was bad, but those are 10 out of 10s.
He was able
but
he was good at getting jokes told on him and not losing.
No,
he
did not.
I would say he got outclassed by them. He didn't go toe to toe with them all the time. He was getting outclassed.
Right place at the right time. That is Triple H's career. Right place.
But he is great. I'm not saying Triple H is great.
When Austin and Rock was gone, that's when he had to pick the ball up and run with it, and that's when you saw his best work. Triple H was terrible on the mic in 1998. He was terrible on the mic in 1999. It was when the big names took hiatuses and left, and then he grew his career after that. That's how it went. I won't say
it was terrible. I won't say it was terrible.
Well,
let's go back and watch Raw from 1998 to 1999.
It wasn't until like middle 99
he was in Shawn Michaels' shadow as far as the start of DX. Right?
He was the funny one out of DX when DX was Shawn.
I got you. He had to learn.
He was the funny one.
When Shawn left, he had to pick up the ball. So he had to go through his learning bumps.
That storyline. But
he had to go through his learning bumps.
Life, Triple H was the funny one.
To say terrible is crazy.
Not terrible is a little crazy. I will say
early 2000s.
My favorite incarnation of DX is Triple H's the McMahon Helmsley DX Army. That's my favorite incarnation of the faction. Him, the New Age Outlaws, X-Pac, China, Steph. Like that's to me the pinnacle of DX, and that's all Triple H.
That's very LWO, NWO for me.
That's like corporate ministry type shit.
Yeah.
Nah, it was fire though. Like the thing is, I'm a Rock fan growing up, so that was like my villain.
That's when you hated. When you hated Triple H, this fucking gut.
Exactly.
You hated him.
Exactly. So like the Rock would never.
That was
win.
The best era. Nah, he's right.
I appreciate you.
I think Mick Foley was the better heel at the time.
What?
Oh,
Mick Foley was the better heel. Mick Foley was not the better heel.
We were doing factions.
What are you saying?
Mick Foley was not the better heel than Triple H.
Mash out King, please.
When?
Mick Foley was not the better heel at the time.
Does anybody else have host?
When he was corporate?
Does anybody else have host?
Jesus Christ. Big Daddy Cool. You tell me Mick Foley wasn't the better heel at the time.
When he was like corporate dude love, that's what you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm going
corporate dude love. Hell fucking no.
No, let the internet decide. We're gonna post that question on social media. Let the internet decide.
The top heel at that time.
Better heel than Triple H.
Besides Vince McMahon.
Nah.
That was a better heel than Triple H.
I mean, look, Mick Foley.
The Rock was born late 1998, early 1990. It was Mick Foley. Are y'all just completely obliterating what the man was doing in 1998? Who was feuding with Austin?
Mick Foley came into corporate after the Rock.
We acknowledge what he was doing.
Yeah, he wasn't no better heel than Triple H.
Yeah.
Listen, all you got to do, and this is anybody that's listening right now, if you thinking what I'm saying is bullshit, all you have to do is just go on the Peacock app and look up Monday Night Raws in 1998. And if you and anybody with half a fucking brain will see that Triple H couldn't formulate a goddamn sentence back then. His promos were weak. He was getting run over by The Rock and Triple H. I'm sorry, and Austin at that
But
time.
Triple H wasn't heel.
But we had established
Triple
in
H
the late
didn't go
90s
heel until like
he wasn't
99,
great.
WrestleMania 99.
And I said 98. I said 98. You
That's
know,
when he was trying to be a fucking face.
That he wasn't that great.
That's when he was trying to be a baby face.
even when
you got it. There was a 2-year period where Mick Foley was better than Triple H. Got it.
Nah, you wildin'. Like, I'm not letting that one go. No.
I'm not even
Ain't nobody
engaging this
jacking
because
no.
what?
Ain't nobody
Is this even is this really a discussion right now?
Nah, no way.
Yeah, like Mick Foley was a better heel.
This can't be real. This
That's the
proof is
wildest.
now.
The
This
proof
is
is
Wow.
in the pudding. All you have to do is simply go back and watch the Monday Night Raws. If I'm wrong, which I know I'm not, if I'm wrong,
You're
then
wrong.
all you have to do is now come back on the show and say you watched the Raws and Triple H gave great promos. 98, 99. If
We
I'm
didn't
wrong,
say that.
but I
That's not-
know.
that's
No,
not-
But
that's
nobody
weren't
else
there.
said that
Let me
though.
finish my
Like you
thought.
created
Let
this
me
narrative all
finish.
on your own.
Let me
You created that narrative. No one did that. But
I did create the narrative. That's why I'm defending it. Thank you. What I'm saying is, I said Mick Foley in 98, 99 was a better heel than Triple H. Triple H was right place at the right time. That's just what it was. You can't sit there and say his career was great from day one because it was not. It was right place, right time. That's what ended
But
up
did we
happening.
say that?
so
I'm sorry,
Triple H.
Brandon,
Wait.
did you say that
So
when you
Mick
made the
Foley
comment?
being a heel
Is that what you
made
said?
Triple H a better what?
Say it again.
Mick Foley
hear you.
being
Say it
a
again.
heel at that time made Triple H a better what? Because you saying he's at the right place at the right time.
No, what I'm saying is that everything happened for Triple H perfectly. I mean, just in terms of where his career went, right? Where when the
He
smoke
was
cleared.
buried after.
Nah, yeah, I wouldn't say perfectly. Curtain call? Come on, bro.
After the
No.
curtain
I
call,
didn't
he
think
was
I'm
buried.
talking about the later years. I'm not talking about 1996 when the curtain call
Okay.
happened and then
Post
Austin. I'm
curtain
talking about
call.
later years. You know,
DX
when
was on
everything ended
every
up
Raw.
happening for him. Huh?
DX was
What you
on
said?
every single Raw in 98 to
Mhm.
99. DX was
I'm
on every
saying
Raw.
that, and that's what I said. Look at his promos back then. That's all I'm saying.
Triple
I'm
H
not
was very influential. Okay, he had everybody
Nah, yeah, I'm
spitting
not
out
gonna lie.
water. Like,
I'm
come
not gonna
on,
lie.
spitting
I
out water.
still do it in the shower
Okay,
to
what
this
year
day
was-
sometimes.
Like,
I
come
fucking
on.
yo.
Okay,
This
what
might
year
be
was that?
controversial, but
TMI.
Year was that?
TMI.
What year?
Wait, it
was
was
that?
that.
anytime that
when
they're
he
both
went.
on the roster with each
That's
other,
when he went heel because he wasn't doing that. Was he spitting out water when he was Was he spitting out
Yes,
water
and
when he was
DX.
yeah, he
heel?
was. He was
Yeah.
a bit-
Yeah.
Okay, he was. But
Yeah.
Brandon
come
got
on. But we really started doing it more. We
clean in
really
the
started
shower.
doing it more when he in '99 when he turned like
Yeah,
full
when-
heel.
when you went full heel, full steroids, mad Aki, just mad wet.
Right?
Yeah, all in on the back knee, bro.
Here, Triple H
Yeah.
with the,
Good.
All in on the back
the
knee.
best WWE title that there was at the time. I
Mm.
love that title.
Nah, yeah, I love that title too.
Yeah, synonymous.
Come
All
on.
right, so
Oh,
I hate that belt. Anyway, we're gonna keep it moving. Now let's go back with
a
have y'all
belt
picked
holds
y'all-
up your
all
pants.
of
A
y'all
title is a
top-
championship.
Yeah, I
your
think our
top-
top three was as follows. It was Evolution, DX, and then we said New Day. Honorable mention to the Bloodline and the NWO.
Oh, okay. The honorable mentions is the
Okay. Brandon,
Bloodline
we
and
actually agree on something. The NWO.
Okay, that's very good.
Yeah.
With that
Yeah.
being said, is there anyone from the Three Amigos podcast show who would like to state their top three factions or stable?
I'll go.
Well, they already named two of mine.
Yeah.
They named one of mine too.
They named DX and Evolution.
I'll say my one. Well, they named two of mine. Then my third is actually the Shield. I think
That was my number three too.
Was one of the top factions / stables of all time. I'm gonna go back to DX and the New Day real quick and say that that DX is shaped a culture, which is why I feel like there could never not be the top two or the top three faction of all time. Like they reshape the culture and they help us move into this like modern era of like numbers counting and ratings and merchandise. Like I remember when they first started doing the merchandising, like everybody wanted a DX shirt. Like it was the cool thing, and that led the way for WWE to have that explosion with all the Austin 316 shirts and the most electrifying man t-shirts and all this other stuff, right? Like you after DX started doing that's when you started seeing t-shirts being like a thing of people like moving product. Then the New Day took it to the next level. They was selling cereal, they was selling shit that you ain't never thought that wrestling would fucking start selling. You know what I mean? So that's why that plus you add up the accolades with the titles and stuff and whatnot, but the entertainment factor, I feel like what makes a heel, not a heel, sorry, what makes a faction really valuable is their marketability and their appeal to the audience. And when the New Day was on top, you had to see them every show, every week. It didn't matter, right? Same thing with DX, same thing with the Shield. You had to see them all the time. Like they was the draw. Seeing that group was the draw. And to me, like I haven't seen any groups like that do it that well. You know what I mean? Like honorable mentions, like I said, the NWO, but and like Evolution and whatnot. But I feel
Niggas
like
still wear NWO shirts to this day though.
No? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, was they gonna be able to do that if DX didn't really launch the way they launched? You know what I mean? Like it was.
But wasn't NWO first?
It was a few like that. I don't know. My memory's not that great. I
think they might have formed in the same year, but I think both they merged.
I'm pretty sure DX was a response to NWO, but
yes.
Slightly thereafter.
Because I think NWO was 96 and DX
96. But they weren't like the black and white NWO until later in 97, like the NWO logo.
No, they was always black and white NWO. They weren't the red and white, the red and black till 97.
No, when they first formed, they didn't have a logo or anything like that. When it was just Hogan and the Outsiders, for a while they were still getting their identity together. That took a couple months, even for Hogan to start wearing black and stuff. That took a couple months.
Oh, when he put the Beijing on,
right?
Because that was he came out with the black at Starrcade. That was December 1996.
Was it?
Yeah, December 1996 when he came out with the black at Starrcade.
Yeah, because he had to give up the gold and red shit because he wasn't the Hulkmania or the Hulkster. The Hulkster.
He wasn't the Hulkster.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Yeah, but shout out to NWO.
Was great because it really showed who Hulk Hogan truly was.
Right. So I think he probably wanted to be healed for the longest time.
Motherfucker. Yeah. That's what he really was.
Anybody from the Three Amigos that don't have the Shield or the NWO want to stay mash out? Go ahead. Can you tell your top three?
Okay, well NWO was my number 2, but honorable mention went to Evolution though. So I was
wait a goddamn minute. Evolution is in your honorable mentions.
I'm gonna tell you why. Right?
Please,
I'm gonna tell you why.
Please expound.
Okay. I'm gonna explain why. So though it may not seem it, I always like Triple H as a heel, right? But I went with who I remember vividly growing up that I was like a big fan of. Okay. So the first number 3 on my list, the Hart Foundation. That was number 3. I thought they were, an amazing team.
Not mad at that.
And and what have you. Number 2.
I thought they was a tag team.
No, there was more because you had.
When they're talking like Brian Pillman and all those guys too.
Owen Hart.
Anvil and Owen and Bulldog. And then,
Bulldog. Rest in peace to Bulldog. Rest in peace
to the whole.
Rest in peace to a lot of them.
Brett is still alive.
They up taxes in the air.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Number 2 went NWO. All right, and number 1 was the Corporation. I thought the Corporation was very entertaining, and they held it down for at least 2 to 3 years. Vince McMahon.
So Evolution is an honorable mention. The Corporation is number 1. This is
Big Boss
like
Man.
A disputed countdown at this point. But go ahead.
And
go ahead.
I understand. They had the best hero.
Why I went with this because I could defend all my answers.
We know. Okay? That's what I want you to do. Go ahead.
So I could defend all my answers. I'm a grown ass man. Now the reason why I went with You said you don't like Ken Shamrock?
He said Ken Shamrock.
Yeah. I thought the Corporation was entertaining because I think that if it wasn't for the rivalry with Vince McMahon and Austin, which developed the corporation, I don't think there would be a modern day WWE. I don't think there would have been, because that was the storyline of all of us growing up, because at the end of the day, we wanted to see Vince McMahon get his ass whooped. Okay. And frankly, that rivalry saved the company, right?
Yeah.
That rivalry saved the WWE. So that's why I went with them as number one. I understand everything that, that Evolution has done. I don't take nothing away from it. I think everybody's an incredible talent. I went with NWO because I think NWO made us watch WCW. Okay, WCW was very cartoonish.
That's a fact.
Very cartoonish.
I was watching the cruiserweights, but okay.
So I was
watching for Juventud.
Alex Wright,
and C Costas, Rey Mysterio. Stop playing.
They were fire.
They were all fire. Billy Kidman. Come on.
Also, it had us believing that the WWE was really raiding WCW, right? When Scott Hall and Kevin Nash came in, because that's the first time we ever seen something like that in our entire life. Okay. And then number 3, the reason why I went with the Hart Foundation, just because, again, the riff between him and with Sean, and also with him with Austin and things of that nature. I love Evolution, so I'm not saying that they're a bad team, but I went with people that I thought were transitionals that helped move the needle a little bit before a certain era. So I'm not taking away anything, because I also wanted to put the Nation and Domination on my list too. I wish we had more. I thought the Nation definitely should have been on the list as well, because I thought that was a very monumental group at its time. It was very, believe it or not, even though DX was very edgy, the Nation was very edgy too.
Very edgy.
Especially when it came to Ahmed. Especially when it came to Ahmed.
Yeah. Some of the things that came out of their mouth in this day and age, in cancel culture day and age, the WWE would definitely have something.
And even things that were going on in the 90s in terms of race relations, like that group was like a satire of what was really going on at the time. It was a bold move. Bold move.
Absolutely.
And it worked. Created some stars.
I highly agree. Anybody else from the Three Amigos that did not have Evolution, the Hart Foundation, anybody that wants to say who they sour D's or your
mine's? I got Undisputed Era.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Top 3 all time.
Era.
Wow. I like that.
10, but I don't
different. Different.
Yeah.
These were guys that came into the game, and NXT at the time was like, it was developmental, but
that
I feel
shit
like
the hottest wrestling show on the planet.
They changed it. They changed
NXT was the hottest show on the planet.
They made that shit meant something, and it was unfortunate to see them disband. Like, it was crazy. I would love to have seen them like go further. Like, I would love to have seen them get called up to the main roster and see what they could do there.
Yeah.
But
the problem for them was that Vince was running the main roster. He wasn't going to pull up a bunch of four little guys all in one faction.
Yeah, he wanted them all to carry Keith Lee's suitcase.
Yeah. You see, but you say them 4 little guys. Them 4 little guys kind of remind me of that time when we had the Rascals, when you had Perry Saturn, Dean
He's
Malenko.
cooking. Deez is cooking.
The Radicals.
Radicals.
Oh, okay.
The Radicals.
Chris
I thought he meant Trey Miguel.
Eddie Guerrero.
And Perry Saturn.
Undisputed Era, they kind of gave me that. They could have been those 4 little guys on the main roster, being those type of guys. They had the star power.
They had the talent.
And the titles that they held was, prestigious. I mean, Adam Cole was the first North American champion. Come on. Undisputed Era. Those are my guys.
They also had some of the best war games.
Right now, so.
Best war games.
All of the injury list.
And this is when Adam Cole was really at his best, unlike where he's at now.
The key word in your statement.
Stop going to work
he's at right now. He's being watered down.
Stop going to work for Tony Khan. Stop doing it. I implore you, please. Find somewhere else.
Triple H and Adam Cole had that thing going on. Man.
Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh. Kyle O'Reilly is one of the funniest dudes in the world of wrestling in the ring, man. That dude makes me laugh at least 2 or 3 times every match that he's in. He just does some funny ass shit. And he's good as hell in the ring. Oh my God. I hope he gets back soon, man. That's one guy.
When Bobby Fish was there, remember he used to do the ad-libs in the background. It used to be so funny to me. I miss Undisputed Era. Oh my gosh.
Anything else from your list?
No. I had Evolution, DX, Undisputed Era, and my honorable mention too was the Shield.
Okay, so we want to take the time to let the people listening and paying attention let us know what it is that is their top stable and or faction. Make sure you comment on the video or hit us up and let us know what you think your top stable faction, or if you agree with the panel today, because we kind of all, I didn't know we were going to all agree, but we do actually all agree between the Corporation, Evolution, D-Generation X, and what's the third one?
New Day, the Shield.
New Day?
Between the New Day, yeah. I would have to go with the New Day more than top of the Shield. Of course, the legacy of the Shield is amazing.
Yeah, vast.
We all definitely agree. So we're gonna move on with the show. The next segment is
Brandon, real quick. I just got one more shout out, one more honorable mention, and they don't get talked about enough. And we've had these conversations, me, Steve, and Zoo.
Okay.
Main Event Mafia.
Main Event Mafia does not get their flowers.
They
do
never
not get their flowers. That is a faction.
They never get their flowers.
That is a faction.
And it just came up to me as everybody else was talking. I'm like, I wish I would have mentioned it when I was speaking, but they never get their flowers. You want to talk about star power, championships. You want to talk about the individuals, Prime Perk Angle. We're talking
Scott Steiner. That is funniest.
Like
the most hilarious version of Booker T.
Yeah, like I just wanted to shout them out. I don't know.
You know what? I love when people can take the Has-Been Club and put them together, and people think that it is magic and lightning in a bottle. These people were stars at fucking. These were the WCW Has-Beens and WWE Has-Beens put all together.
Nah, some of them were still working.
Yeah, they were.
And we're supposed to give Fish credit for swimming.
Nah. Some of them was still at the peak of their abilities, though.
Yeah, I would never put them in the top 5, but Scott Steiner's hilarious.
They were top 15.
They top 10.
20.
That's TNA's best faction.
It was.
Of course.
It was. And you know, that's why they're not thought of that much, because they were in TNA. You know what I mean? That's
and I know
was it
briefly, but I got
title just for one of them to have a world championship.
You know what? Let me tell you something.
Damn, they roasted your shit, Brandon. That's crazy.
That's really crazy.
I'm sorry. I mean, maybe that. You know what? Maybe that's for the group chat. But here on the Three Amigos podcast show, that ain't going.
So wait. But when we talk about, are we gonna discredit what they accomplished?
No, we're not. They have championships.
No, they had a good 20-year run.
We didn't give enough numbers. We didn't give enough numbers. It's a top.
That was the best thing on television for TNA. That was the best thing on TNA.
They're not putting respect on TNA right now.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Beautiful People was better.
TNA, if we did a TNA top factions countdown,
didn't the Beautiful People come after?
Number 1.
Beautiful People are number 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would put Beautiful People in front of Mafia.
I guess fine. That's fine.
For me, I'm saying for me.
I'm not gonna argue with that. I don't think
Let's talk about that for a second.
Marvel's put Aces of 8 up there too.
Aces and Eights. No.
Absolutely.
Main Event Mafia over Aces and Eights.
Nah, Ace and Eights may have jumped the shark, but it was better. I put it over
in a horrific way. It jumped the shark worse than the Fonz. It was awful.
If Scott Steiner,
by the time it was over, it was garbage. Main Event.
If Scott Steiner didn't have a Samoa Joe rivalry in the middle of Main Event Mafia wouldn't have been as good.
That's true too. You know what I think would be a good idea when you guys discuss that on the show? We come on your show and we discuss that, and that show would be the Gimmick Infringement Podcast. First of all, we want to let them know where it is that they can possibly follow all of y'all, because when you did your intros, you didn't let them know where they can follow you. So starting with you, Zoo, where can people follow you? And then it's through the team, and then we're going to do Wrestlers of the Week, and then we're going to do Final Thoughts, and we're going to take it out of here.
Cool.
Well, y'all can just hit me up on the Twitter machine. Oh, it's not over there. It's on the other side right there. At Zoobeard77. Go hit that follow on there, man. You know, I'm here. What's up, Steve? Let them know.
All right, y'all. Y'all know where y'all can find me. Everything is at s.ileka. That's s.ileka. You can find my wine stuff there. You can find my wrestling stuff there. You can find my personal IG there. Twitter, everything. Go look for me.
And for me, Sito _ Escobar, SITO _ Escobar. You can follow me on that. And yeah, that's it.
All right. As per you guys, since you're our guest, we'll also let you go first. Let us know, based on all professional wrestling throughout the week, who is your wrestler of the week? If you could think of one right now.
I think that's easy. It's CM Punk. It is what it
okay.
is. Waited until Saturday evening, but he took the whole week over. It is what it is.
Okay.
Punk.
I'm going to go in a week where we had Punk come back. We had Randy come back to WWE, that is, of course. I'm going with JD McDonough, man. Dude lit it up in War Games. He really showed out. And on a night where there were so many stars in the ring doing their thing, that guy really, I mean, he took a lot of hard shots, sold the shit out of every single one of them. He made that match look incredible. I got to give the man a lot of credit, JD McDonough, because that's a dude, I got to be honest, I didn't know very much about coming into when he came up. So he's shown me a lot in this short time. Shout out JD.
I'm gonna have to go with Zoo on this one. I'm keep it to people who actually step foot in the ring. I understand the CM Punk take, and that's fair, but I'm gonna go with somebody who actually was in the ring this week, performing their ass off and giving it their all. That's incredible. And let me ask you, is that now the best RKO of all time?
No, it's still Evan Bourne.
Evan Bourne?
Yeah,
I'm an Evan Bourne guy.
All right. Okay.
It was a good one though.
It's top.
Yeah.
It's top three.
Top three?
It's
Top three.
It's
Very
top
memorable.
Three, yeah, definitely.
Evan Bourne, Seth
Rollins.
Yeah.
And
All
that
right.
one, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. Yep.
I
All
see
right.
you.
So from the Three Amigos podcast show, Masquerade Cam, who's your wrestler of the week?
Oh man, like Brandon, I like to pick people who actually did something in the ring.
I feel bad now.
No.
Because wrestling is more than just in-ring performance. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to go with JD, but I'm gonna go with Bailey because Bailey definitely did her thing in that match. You know, so give her flowers, round of applause. You know what I mean? Damage Control is on top of the women's division. So yeah, it's my wrestler of the week.
I thought Mommy was always on top, but that's okay. Sour Diesel, who's your wrestler of the week?
Well, gentlemen, this guy, he's not a wrestler.
Oh.
He's more like a promoter. He's more like a Booker of the Year 2 times. I want to give it to Tony Khan. In the words of the Queen, Nicki Minaj, ha, we win, you lose, dumbass. Good for you.
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks again, Tony.
And with that said, Mash Out, who's your wrestler of the week?
I'm gonna go back on the limb with my boy Pino, and I'm gonna take CM Punk because at the end of the day, you had me fooled, and he had me fooled. I didn't think this was happening. I really did not. And from our last week's episode, I was like, I don't see it coming, and what have you. And this was the best kept secret the WWE had in a long time. So
really,
yes, I would absolutely say that him coming, I didn't see it coming.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go with my wrestler of the week, and unfortunately, everyone here picked mostly WWE people besides Sour Diesel, and I'm gonna go with an AEW guy, and my wrestler of the week is gonna actually be Shane Strickland because of the match that he put on with Adam Hangman Page, and then showing up on Wednesday and putting on the match that he put on
Go ahead, Brandon.
Final thoughts. It was a big week in wrestling, for obvious reasons. And it was so big that there was something so big that got overshadowed by something even bigger. Because Randy Orton's return was supposed to be, epic, and it was. But for that to be second fiddle to CM Punk coming back, that's how you know it was just crazy,
I thought you were going to say Will Ospreay thing got overshadowed.
No,
yeah, that did too.
AEW is dead, bro.
But it's over for that. Punk killed AEW.
Dead.
But
dead. We'll sign with the wrong team.
Yeah.
And I'll say this to Brandon brought up Swerve Strickland. He will be a world champion within the next 16 months, guaranteed.
That match was fucking amazing. If you guys did not watch that match, you want to talk about just.
So how could AEW be dead if you all bigging this man up?
Well, this was before they got.
That's all I like over there right now.
Somebody's going to be a TNA champion next year too.
Also, I wasn't the one who said that AEW was dead. By the way,
I don't know. It seemed like everybody was in unison.
We had a consensus.
I stayed silent. I checked the box. I'm staying.
I do know that they're the second company. They are the second company. WWE is number one, based on production value, superstars, storyline. I do have a question that I wanted to pose, but we don't really have the time now, and I think I'm gonna open it up for us to discuss later. Is WWE like Marvel? And like the New York Knicks, are they complacent? Do they depend on the thousands and thousands of fans that's going to buy the LA Knight colorful shirts and how they're doing their booking, or are they actually producing quality style matches and building up storylines that isn't intertwined with factions?
They're working on it. I think there's a medium there, but I think they're definitely, I think they're definitely working towards all of that.
And not for nothing, I love what they're doing, putting on shows internationally and changing up the formula on us. I think they're really innovating right now. I think they're not acting like people that are complacent. They're acting like a company that wants to do some new shit.
Well, what they're doing is they're tapping into that global market because this, unfortunately, American market's kind of become a little bit, I don't want to say complacent is the right word, but spoiled when it comes to a lot of these things. So you don't see these shows get packed out. That's why going to San Juan, going to London, I mean, obviously they're making a ton of money in Riyadh, so that's why they keep going back to Saudi Arabia. There's, but like all this type of stuff.
They're going to Jeddah too, right?
Jeddah is there too. Nah, but that's the smart moves. That's how you continue to build this thing. That's how you continue to have great shows, because you make sure the crowds aren't stale by going to these markets that you don't go to that are thirsting for just any type of wrestling WWE entertainment. It's a dream for them, even for people that aren't even fans. It's massive.
Okay.
Exciting
for the Three Amigos podcast want to start their final thoughts? What'd you say?
Surround yourself by love, because love ain't that easy to find. So during these holidays, get close to that love. Okay. Oh my God.
That was a good one. Masquerade Cam?
I'm going to say, expect the unexpected. Wrestling fans, you are welcome. Chi-Town, you are welcome. All right, you got a real wrestling show, and you're welcome. All right, Survivor Series War Game is impeccable. All right, Chicago, you've been overdrowned with too much AEW trash. All right, WWE really came through and let you see what a real show is like in Chi-Town. All right, okay. And shout out to WWE for being smart enough to have the foresight to announce Randy Orton ahead of the pay-per-view, so the Chicago crowd wouldn't be too CM Punk geeked up before he actually came out. So bravo. All right. Wrestling never stops. And we all along for the ride, baby. Let's go.
Mash Out King.
Got the belt.
You put up the triple.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. I do
At a time like this, when everybody's shitting on AEW, you want to pull out that guy.
That's right.
Nah, Mash Out King is the real AEW champion. Well, they got like 4 of them now, right?
Listen.
Yeah, he's a other interim champion.
Listen. I need the peons to stop talking. The fact is that that first of all, before I'll say this, you need AEW. Yeah. You need AEW. So whether we say it's done or whatever, the fact is they have a television deal. And they still get 800,000 people each and every week. So you can't say that the company's ever going to be done. All right. And competition breeds success. All right. It does. So if AEW one day gets it together, it will make the WWE work even harder.
I want that to happen.
And also, and hopefully vice versa. Right? Hopefully vice versa. That once Tony Khan, who was punching air last night, watched and seen how things were done, he's probably gonna say, you know what? Maybe this is not working, guys. That's what he's gonna say. Maybe this is not working. But other than that, guys, thank you guys for coming on the show. And thank you to everybody that tuned in, and we love you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. The Three Amigos podcast. All right. And you know what? We haven't even discussed how to break the tie with the predictions.
I was going to say that.
Oh
no!
I think I won because I predicted that CM Punk was going to come.
Just announce the three-way tie. That's all you got to do.
I won because I predicted that CM Punk will come back. So just give it to me.
You want me to give you? I'll give you want the AEW.
I think that's fair.
No. The WWE championship. The WWE.
Oh.
First of all,
Kim, when
only one real title.
When they call the AEW for their media scrum, make sure your ass ain't there. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna be there like, Tony, what's going on, baby? All right, I got my championship. I need somebody to sign it for me. Cam, sit outside at the All-State Arena.
Whose signature you want on it? Whose signature you want on the Triple B?
It's gonna probably be MJF and
Mr. I'm fucking tired of this shit.
Oh yeah, Long Islanders. Y'all both Long Islanders. Okay.
MJF, Kenny Omega, and that's really.
You going to World's End? You going to World's End? It's around the
corner. Let's not do that on the show right now. You know what I'm saying? You know what?
You going to that? You excited? You got the belt?
Let's not do that on the show right now. You know what I'm saying?
I was just checking. I wasn't sure since you was riding for them so hard.
Damn.
I want to thank Zubid. I want to thank who I refer to since I love wine myself is Mr. Pierre, as well as Brandon, a part of the Gimmick Infringement Podcast. Where can they find y'all? When are y'all coming? Is it 2024? When can we see something from y'all?
We'll be getting going here in 2024, hitting the ground running on January 1st, most likely, man. Otherwise, it's going to be the first Raw. We're going to be getting at it. So let's get after it, y'all. Follow us on the socials right here, at Zubeard77. So make sure you get on it.
Let's go.
Okay, let's shout out to New Year, starting the New Year's off right and fresh. The new podcast, the Gimmick Infringement Podcast. Shouts out to them. Thank you so much for joining us for our War Games episode.
Thank you for having us.
No problem. The door's open. Either one of y'all can come on. All of y'all can come on. We can discuss this.
Good having y'all.
This again around the Royal Rumble WrestleMania time.
Hell yeah.
Visit that conversation and talk about, see who predictions came to fruition, to see who is a wrestling prophet. I'm just saying here on the Three Amigos show, we kind of be having it down packed, but I definitely love you guys' perspective. I'm gonna leave us a little bit with a random thought. We're gonna start saying this, and this is stop using someone else's ruler to measure your own self-worth. It always leave you coming up short. That is the random thought. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of the Three Amigos podcast
That was
show.
Let's
so.
go.
We are out.
That was deep as shit.